We live? Oh yeah, we are. Perfect. Okay, sound check. Yeah, say something? Okay. Let me see if my microphone's similar. Oh no, it's not. Hold on. Okay. Try it now.
Hello, sound check. Hello.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I have to turn down my game. Alright guys, today we're just going to be playing a little bit maybe. I don't know if Jeff's actually going to be playing. We're going to be talking about balance in this game. Jeff is
Hello, sound
currently
check.
famous on Dark Tide. You want to tell anybody about that? About your glorious ascension?
I don't know if I'm famous in Dark Tide. I'm more
He is
just
very, he's humble too.
no, more of just a guy who likes Warhammer, talking about Warhammer,
Like Lisa
kind of reviewing different Warhammer games. It's been a good time.
It has been a good time. It's a good time to be a Warhammer fan.
It is, yeah. Warhammer Skulls was fucking hype, dude.
It's the best one in years.
Yeah.
Not that I saw any of the other ones, but
oh my gosh.
if I did.
Way to out yourself as a fucking
No, they know. I'm not
fake
fan,
fan,
I'm not
dude.
a cheat. I'm not a cheat. I'm not gonna lie to people. I was like, I mean, you know, it's like I don't really watch the May the 4th, and I love Star Wars.
Oh man.
That's a
But no, the what was hype about Skulls was the Dark Heresy reveal. That was fucking nuts, dude, and it was not anything I was expecting. I'm actually really pumped for that.
For the I mean, I'm excited for the new classes releasing. I'm excited for the new class releasing on Dark Tide and Space Marine 2 eventually. Tech Marine's coming though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tech Marine.
Okay, so we're gonna try to catch you up. I'm waiting for people to get in here a little bit. But you haven't played Siege mode yet, you said.
No, I have not. I have not touched Siege mode yet. I'll probably try to get some gameplay in this weekend.
I would say it's pretty good. I think actually, honestly, pretty good is a little bit of a downplay if you ask me. It might actually be the best update they've ever had in this game, to be honest. It is quite...
Damn.
The only thing I think it's lacking is like new weapons. Like the last patch brought in a bunch of new weapons, like tactical and stuff. You know, Assault got Power Sword. They added in, they fixed a lot of the weapon perk trees. That was good, but it feels like more busy work. Like they're fixing issues. This feels like a proper content patch.
Yeah, I saw that they added Thunderhammer for the Bulwark. How does that play?
It's good, but you don't get your shield. And I know somebody was telling me if they fixed the Bulwark so that his shield doesn't animation cancel anymore, or they said they quote-unquote fixed it. When I was playing with him, I'll even load it up right now. When I was playing with him, I didn't notice that at all. Now, they did also add in the official Siege mode, not Siege mode, the True Solo for console players as well, but the True Solo spawns in like their version are terrible. Like super, super low. I think it might be like properly intended for like, you know, you're a casual solo player to go through, because I had a point where I went into Termination. I did get 2 bosses, so that was pretty difficult, but when I got to the very end of Termination, there were literally no enemies. There was not a single wave that spawned.
Wow.
Yeah, that would never
I mean, I guess
happen.
I think that's okay, because there are a lot of people who really want to get into like that fantasy of being like a solo lone survivor space marine. And then if you want a hard experience, I mean, I guess you can always load up modded, especially since it's so easy now.
That's true. I mean, it's good they do have an actual True Solo, though the True Solo they have for Siege mode, it still functions the same, because I'm pretty sure Siege mode is like set waves, like they don't really change. It's just like you have to fight this many enemies. So even if you're playing by yourself, it's brutal. Like, it is by far the most brutal content. It's worse. I'd say it's worse than any of the modded runs I've done for the increased ones. This guy says, Billy Lewis asks, do you have a viable assault chainsword build? I sure do. I'll show you right now.
Probably
actually
the dash assault build.
Yeah, Dash Assault's pretty damn good right now.
Yeah. Just pop a chainsword onto it and roll.
I would just say take this. I would use the Artificer block personally. I know a lot of people don't like block weapons. And after this patch, some of the block weapons, well, they get nerfed, but they hurt my fencing power sword. They killed it.
How much did they nerf the fencing power sword?
Well,
how much...
like, the damage is the same. My issue with it is that not being able to switch styles while you're dodging is brutal for how clunky it, like, for how smooth it feels. It's very bad.
Is that a bug? Like, why would they take that away?
Well, they said they were changing the bulwark shield stuff, so it might not be a bug. It might just be them, you know, doing their thing.
Wow.
I'll launch it up. I'll take it straight into hard mode. I don't think if I had a tier list, you know, I'm gonna tier list all the classes right now. First of all, I think Heavy is just, I was telling you this before we even started the stream, but Heavy is just the best class in the game right now for Siege mode, solo, by far. I don't think it's close. I don't think any of these other classes can even properly compete in terms of like damage output that is required to push the higher waves right now, because like I was saying before, wave 15 plus puts you on a timer, and when you get into like wave 20, the timer will get down to like 7 minutes. And that's not a lot of time to fight off like, you know, 20 or 30 extremis. Especially with the animations for executing them. And this is like the only guy that can clear out both factions pretty easily.
That's another thing to consider, and I think that's one of the reasons that like siege mode is going to be harder just naturally, is that you're fighting both the Chaos and Tyranids, and so you can't really cater your build towards one or the other. And can you swap loadouts in between waves?
You should be able to. You can swap out your loadouts. You can't swap out your well, I put a tier list on the screen, but my OBS has been a bit of a pain in the ass recently.
Oh, Matt Short points out something really, really good. So, yeah, timer in siege mode does not make sense.
No, it makes no sense.
I think both Guardsmen and I agree that there shouldn't be any timer in siege mode, and those last few waves should just be brutal. Like, it should just be extremely difficult to survive, so hard to the point where you're gonna get wiped.
It's already kind of there. That's like the weird part for me, is that like the waves are already brutal. Like, they are so brutal. It starts sending triple boss spawns like every 3, you know, like 2 to 3 waves. And that's insane. By yourself,
Yeah.
even with a group of players. Like, I'll say triple Hellbrute, the only class that I have ever seen anyone solo a triple Hellbrute currently with is Heavy. And there's a reason for that. It's because he's like the only one that has a gun that can do it, because Heavy Plasma, his Iron Halo, can actually get shots off, because let's just be real here. Iron Halo is actually like the king of siege mode, because there is so much range shit in this game that will stagger you. And he takes his starting perk is when Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 50 meters take 10% less damage from ranged attacks, and he has the encompassing Aegis team perk, which is all squad members take 25% less damage from ranged attacks. And when you combine that with Conviction and his restoration perk, I found this guy kind of gets into a loop where his Conviction is constantly triggered, and he just really struggles to die even against things like a Soul Cannon. He's really, really good against Chaos, and you kind of have to have a class that is good against Chaos, and Heavy Plasma already slaps Tyranids up super hard. So this guy is just S tier. I really think this is like the best build in the game right now for Siege mode. I don't think that's like a hot take.
I kind of find that when it comes to fighting Chaos enemies, you really need good ranged utility, because you need to be able to restore your contested health when you're getting chipped away by all the ranged Chaos enemies. And Heavy is just kind of like really good to counter all of that.
Yeah.
And also, what's it called? Auxiliary Reload?
Oh.
The perk where you get like unlimited ammo for killing extremist enemies. Freaking goated.
Dude,
absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because Auxiliary Reload, this is like a mandatory perk for this class now. Like, you really can't even play him well if you don't have this perk anymore, like the hard mode of Siege, though. The hard mode for Siege mode. kind of like a weird thing they call hard difficulty for siege mode. But I digress. Point is that auxiliary reload, this is already good in like increased extremis spawn mod runs, but like now in siege mode, it's just mandatory. Like even if you only want to prestige once, really I would say you should take auxiliary reload, conviction, and indomitable spirit, because these three together, these kind of carry your ass in a lot of situations, especially against biovores. Indomitable spirit is the one which is like while performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. That means you can basically sit in the face check of a biovore and shoot it in the face off of like a parry, which is really, really important. Because biovores really like to get into like this loop where they will knock you back and they'll do like they're unblockable, and then you'll get the gun strike on them, and then they'll do another face check that will stagger you if you don't have knockback resist. So this is kind of necessary, in my opinion. But like the other perk you can take, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. They kind of removed, I don't remember what this perk used to be, but they gave him one perk which is called Hone Precision, which is equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 25% when firing without aiming. There's not a single gun that Heavy has that you ever want to fire without aiming. So I don't really know what the point of this was.
Yeah.
Maybe
Huey in the chat points out something really good. Healing teammates can only go so far. DPS is going to be a hard necessity in order to go into the higher rounds. That's 100% true, because in siege mode, you get swarmed so much that nearly every wave after, what, like 15, right? Kind of becomes a DPS check, like a hard DPS check, where you need to your team needs to be doing a really good amount of damage. Otherwise, you're not going to clear the wave. You're going to get wiped.
Like, I'll be real, I don't think there is a single class in this game that can like effectively solo a triple Hellbrute except for Heavy. They just don't have the damage for it. Tactical will get staggered, because if you get down a hallway, like a 1x1 hallway for whatever reason, against a triple Hellbrute, and you don't have like your Dreadnought or something, you're just gonna get chain stunned. Like at least one of them is gonna shoot you with a green plasma shot, and the other one's gonna run at you with a hammer. And with Heavy, you can sit there in the hallway, and a lot of the bosses in this game like to clump up, and Heavy Plasma is super good at doing like 25% of their HP while they're all clumped, like individual, like it'll do it to each of them. And you just chunk them all down together. I have a clip of that on the channel right now for Carnifex. I did attempt to just properly solo a Hellbrute. It was really hard. I had to like put out a bunch of armor reinforcement things for myself and like some stims, but we were able to do it. And I don't think any of these other classes could do that. Because like Vanguard, even with Bolt Carbine, Vanguard doesn't have the damage. He's just going to get chain stunned. Like I really have yet to see a single person get past wave 15 by themselves without a Dreadnought. Unless it was like the Heavy class. I think it's going to be that way going forward, to be honest. Heavy is going to become a must-take just for managing bosses on those triple boss waves, especially Hellbrutes. Oh, 100%. I agree.
Yeah. And there's kind of this, shift away from tactical, and you want to explain that a little bit? Some of the changes for tactical.
Tactical kind of got gutted. I will say that. Tactical now, you kind of have to use his fencing weapon, but really, they nerfed the battle focus in a very strange way. He has an incredible team perk with Secure Stockpile, which is equipment charges restored by 1 for all squad members, cooldown is 60 seconds. This is like a reason enough to take this class, to be honest, on top of the Auspex. But battle focus, when I was playing with him, I got up to like wave 16, 18 with him, and after that, you kind of need your Dreadnought to handle the triple Hellbrute, because this guy just doesn't do it on his own. I tried to solo it once on triple Hellbrute, didn't work out. Got a little close, but you just can't pump out enough damage quickly enough, in my opinion. And battle focus now, I haven't even seen the battle focus proc on bosses at all. I think they might have changed it, like they changed the intimidating aura before. Because like it wasn't going off for them, in my experience. At least not the Hellbrute. As far as like Tyranid bosses go, he's pretty good against them with like a Stalker Bolt Rifle. But overall, if I did tier list all these classes, guys, I would say right now the only S tier class for Siege mode in the PTS is Heavy. I would say it's Heavy. It goes... Oh, let me put my little image. For some reason my OBS isn't properly using it, but I'll just read it off here. I would say S tier is Heavy, A tier is Vanguard and Sniper, B tier is Tactical and Bulwark, and C tier is Assault. Because Assault just... Assault is really good against the Tyranids, but when you're fighting against Chaos, he just struggles way too much to be like super valuable in solo. And his team perks aren't super good in team play.
Yeah.
But he is really good with Zealous Blow. It's just kind of unfortunate. But like, he's not a class that's good on Chaos, and you're forced to fight Chaos. So the way, like, really my philosophy, not my philosophy, but the way I'm looking at it with all these classes is which class can handle both Tyranids and Chaos effectively while being able to survive on their own, and really that's Vanguard, Sniper, and Heavy. And Bulwark can do that too, but Bulwark is just kind of like, he's more of like a consistent damage class rather than like Burst, and you really start to need Nova damage, and Vanguard can get Nova damage with like his giant Execute string and things like consecutive execution for Melt-A-Bombs, and like really any class that is not regenning Melt-A-Bombs in Siege mode, it's not going to be top tier. It's just not going to be.
Yeah, the Meltas are going to be just crucially going to be must-have.
Like, it took me 3 hours to get to wave 24 on a heavy true solo. And without a Melt-A-Bomb, that would have been even longer, but you have to think, if consecutive execution is giving you a Melt-A-Bomb every 90 seconds on top of like a tactical giving you a Melt-A-Bomb every 60 seconds, that's a lot of bombs going off in a 3 hour period. And I'm assuming most people will be able to reach higher and higher and higher. But tactical, I still think he's good, but he's probably better in teams now than solo, unfortunately. And the thing I want to complain about, number one, timers suck. Timers should just be removed in this game. Oh, what's people saying? Can console players join up on PC players in the PTS? Not currently. It's a completely different version of the game. Yeah. I'm glad my GOAT Heavy is getting the recognition he deserves. He certainly is. He is pretty damn crazy right now. Let me throw on some background music. It's kind of odd if I'm just sitting here at the ship the entire time.
Oh, there you go.
Hold on.
It's alright though, Huey, because the it's gonna launch pretty soon anyways. You know, we only have to wait till the end of the month.
Let me... Okay. All right, one moment, Jeff. Can you handle this? Can you cover chat for me for a second? I'll be right back. Grab some water.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, when it comes to like the power ranking of all the classes, a lot of what FTG's experiences are like true solo. And so I'm also kind of curious, like, what the classes are going to play like in a group dynamic. Because, like, I think the Bulwark is definitely still going to be powerful. Having things like Invigorating Icon, plus the Prestige perk where you can get your ability back whenever you block range attacks. Being able to spam heals for your team. Going to be really crucial. Oh yeah, Superstorm. They just recently introduced the YouTube like top chat system, and I think it's completely busted. I don't think it actually works correctly. Like the points allocating to chatters is completely busted.
Oh, that's true. I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Yeah, these new like little stream chat things they did, kind of goofy.
Actually works correctly.
Let me turn down this real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little bit. Jeff, you're free to join if you want. I don't know if you have this installed though.
I don't have the PTS installed.
This guy.
Yep. Slacking,
dude. That's okay, I didn't have it installed. I didn't install it overnight. So right now, I'll also go over the best build for this class right now. Maybe I'll like turn this into a video or something. So on the PTS server for patch 8.0 or like the pseudo patch 8.0, right now Heavy is the best class for Siege mode, and this is the best build for Heavy on Siege mode in my opinion. I used this one to go up to wave 24, and we got timed out. We only went down one time, and it was hard. It was really hard, but it's super doable with this one. And as far as the setup goes, just take the rate of fire variant on this. Hold on. Oh, sorry, someone's coming out my door. 1 second.
Oh, intermission.
All right, sorry about that. It was just I was actually tweaking. All right, so what I was saying is on the PTS server. Okay, so on the PTS server for patch 8.0, the pseudo patch 8.0, the best class for siege mode currently is a heavy class with the heavy plasma incinerator. I did use this build to go up to wave 24. We got timed out. We went down once, and the time we went down was also on wave 24 to some terminators. But really, this thing just does everything you need it to do in siege mode, which is kill both Chaos and Tyranids, keep yourself alive, and deal absurd AoE damage, because that's really what siege mode comes down to eventually. It's a DPS check. Like, a lot of people have been talking about how Vanguard, the Unmatched Zeal perk, is like super OP in siege mode, and it definitely is. This will keep your team alive, but as far as like what's going to win you at the game, especially with how it is currently with the timers, it's going to be the heavy class, because heavy just puts out the boss damage that is necessary to clear out the waves without a dreadnought. Because I went all the way up to like wave 23 before I even touched my dreadnought, because this class can just do that much damage. Now, as for the perks, I would just take restoration always, because killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. When we combine this with conviction, we're pretty much getting like drip fed our conviction proc. And this is just like a super underrated perk. And really, 1 armor in this game is super valuable, because that is the difference between getting all of your HP shredded by like a Lictor hit or a Biovore unblockable or something, or even Spore Mines at times, because they did lower the total damage of Spore Mines. Now, for like the other core perk tree, I take Fortitude. Health increased by 30%. When I actually upload the run for this, you will see that like 30% increased HP just keeps you alive. It's just how it is. It's just too valuable to not take, in my opinion. And then overwhelming power, when Iron Halo is active, you know, all squad members get more range damage. This is just, you know, more damage. Damage is good. And now, this might be a little controversial, but I think the best team perk for him currently is Encompassing Aegis. All squad members take 25% less range damage. That is really good. That is super meta. I think that is way over additional supplies right now, because as a heavy, and like even though I am looking at this from like a solo perspective, even in a team, taking less range damage for a lot of classes in this game is super important in siege mode, because range damage will just shred you, especially with things like the Soul Cannon, especially with the triple Hellbrute. So auxiliary reload, this is really all the ammunition restoration you need. Melee kills of extremis level or higher enemies restore your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine. This pretty much keeps you at full most of the time, and whatever ammo you do wind up needing, you can just pay like the 30 requisition points for. I'll probably do like a tier list on the actual like purchases that you can buy in the siege mode at some point, but for now, just keep in mind that like the 30-point ammo crate you can buy, or like the little ammo packs, are more efficient when you're by yourself. So really, auxiliary reload, that's all you need. You really need to take these two. Bonds of Brotherhood seems really good, but this one will keep you alive more. That Bonds of Brotherhood wouldn't be necessary. And as far as gear perks go, Consecutive Execution, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charge. Cooldown is 90 seconds. This one is mandatory in siege mode as far as I'm concerned. It is just too good to not take. And really, when it comes to Melt-A-Bombs and such, Melt-A-Bombs are just, they're goated in siege mode. It's just too damn good to not take. Same thing with Obdurate Bastion. Iron Halo's durability increases by 20%. There comes a time in every heavy's life when you're soloing the siege mode that you're going to be shot at by 3 Hellbrutes, and having that 20% extra durability is the difference between dying and getting off like 2 charged plasma shots. And 2 charged plasma shots, when you buy like the Tactical Marine for the 20% increase in range damage, that comes out to like a boatload of damage on these bosses. So this is really important to me. Same thing with Brute Force for more range damage while your Iron Halo is in cooldown. And then offensive capability, when active Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This one is super slept on. A lot of people like this conversion field, but this one not only instantly kills all like the little cultists you touch, it also keeps you alive against like Spore Mines. It keeps you alive against things like the Bramblevine. It also just do damage, the last bit of damage you need on some of these guys. And as far as the weapon perk setups go, I would just take this for the heavy plasma incinerator, and I would take this for the heavy bolt pistol, and I think that is currently the best build in Space Marine 2 for siege mode. Any thoughts, Jeff?
I think it was very well said. especially the point about your team perk, because you really do not need extra ammo reserves when you have something like auxiliary reload. And the fact that you can just now buy ammo in siege mode kind of makes those like ammo perks a bit less valuable.
Yeah. I'll say ammo really isn't
So
as
it
big
just
of a
makes
problem as
sense.
people think it is. Bonds of Brotherhood, reviving a squad member restores them to full health. This is a good perk, for sure. But encompassing Aegis, 25% less range damage on top of the 10% we already give them as a heavy class. That's like a 35% decrease to everybody while you have your Iron Halo active. That is just super damn good in this game. And you really notice this against Chaos, especially when you combine it with Fortitude and Conviction. You start to take so little damage against these soul cannons that you have time to charge up a heavy plasma shot all on your own. And really, it only takes like, what, 3 charged heavy plasma shots to bring down a Terminator? That's not a lot at all. And you might be able to see that in some of the videos I've posted. Probably go up after this. Oh, and the Super, oh my God, I can't even see your name all the way here. But the Super, here, take some money with a super chat. Thank you very much. It's very generous of you. It's also generous of you to join the Adeptus Custodes. Thank you very much. Let's see how well would the perk where weapon overheat doesn't occur go with a heavy bolter? You know, I actually tried this perk out the other day. It does nothing when you're by yourself. It does absolutely nothing. It doesn't even function if you're playing without bots. As far as like team members go, it's worthless. Like, this is still a worthless perk in my opinion. And if it does function,
Yeah.
if it does function, I didn't see it.
Most of the time, you also don't want to plan for your group dying like that, like your group basically wiping like that, because you never want to take a perk where it's like I'm planning for failure, right? Very very few games where you want to do this. I think like something like Dark Tide is like one of the few games where on the Zealot you want to take the I can't even remember the name of the perk.
Until death. I'm guessing.
Until death.
Yeah.
There you go. Zealot's like one of the few instances in almost any of these kinds of games where you want to take that, especially in Space Marine 2 where you have the contested health system. I feel like taking ranged damage resistance for the team perk and then avoiding things like coolant reserve are definitely what you want to be doing. Additionally, when it comes to rezzing people and them getting full health, that is definitely very, very valuable on paper. But when you're fighting against 3 Hellbrutes, there isn't really a window to res.
Yeah,
you just kind of kill the Hellbrutes. So
damage is king for sure in that scenario.
Yeah.
I watched Akibo and Mr. Pips play, and they're not bad players at all, and they got to wave 15 on the hard mode. And 2 of them went down, and the last guy left had no opportunity to get them up. And really, you'll see that in solo, in any solo gameplay you see for triple Hellbrutes, that the person who is fighting triple Hellbrutes by themselves, there is 0 window. There's barely a window to even like buy a, like, what would you call it? Like, buy a requisition. Like, if I buy Guardian Relics, I have to buy the Guardian Relic usually before the Hellbrute wave is even there, because when you're in there, you have no time to be in a menu. You're just rolling and like repositioning constantly. It is that brutal. And Bonds of Brotherhood is good because like there are some other things, and like I'm sure some people will say like, oh, what if I take the sniper perk and we all go invisible with Guardian Protocol? Well, you're giving up a bunch of damage for that, first of all. And like, really, I agree with Jeff that you don't want to plan for failure unless the perk effect is so strong that it's like, you know, kind of busted. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. One of the reasons why it works so well on the Zealot is because, one, they have the Martyrdom build where it promotes you for playing at a low health. It's like a low health playstyle, high risk, high reward. And 2, the perk that kind of hooks up to Until Death also heals your health. So it's not just a cheat death, it also heals you and keeps you alive for longer.
It's true. Also, there's a lot of things in that game that one-shot you.
Yes.
Yeah, having like a I live every 2 minutes is pretty good. And I don't think the idea of like my squad members are incapacitated. There was a good Ogren perk like that for a while on Dark Tide until they nerfed it. Like when all your teammates were knocked down or incapacitated, you got like what, 20% damage reduction for each, 25, something like that.
Yeah, but
didn't they nerf
now the
that
perk is even. Well, they kind of changed it. The perk is now even more busted. It's whenever you or your teammates get hit, you just get like more strength, like overall power. And
Oh,
then when
yeah.
that's stacked up all the way, you get the damage resistance and
like-
the toughness damage counts. So it's just like busted.
I know that it's always kind of like a hot take whenever you tell people like, oh, don't plan for failure, because they're like, oh, but like nobody's perfect, they're gonna mess up, and that is true, but like the effect has to be really good if it's considering your teammates are dead, because you have to ask yourself in like a 3-hour period, or like even like an operation like a 45-minute period, how many times are your teammates going to be dead and for how long? I think that's an important
Well,
question.
also, you
to
need to
ask.
consider, right, that in order to get to wave 24 in the first place in siege mode, like, because it's a DPS check, everyone needs to be alive the entire time.
That's true.
You need to be doing that damage. Everyone needs to be taking advantage of melta-bombs and just spamming the absolute shit out of them. And everyone needs to be contributing as much as possible. Like, it's, waves 20 to 24 aren't going to be for teams that consistently lose players, which is good. I mean, the game kind of needs that right now. For anyone who is grinding the prestige system, you have a lot of people who are going into absolute difficulty, like level 1. Some people don't even have like fully upgraded weapons, and they're just pushing through absolute difficulty, either soloing it or just with a team of competent players, and so the game just does not feel difficult. We need an activity that is difficult, and this is great. It's great that siege mode. If they just remove the timer from siege mode and make it so that waves 25 through 30 are just like near impossible, I think that'll be some of the most fun that people have had in Space Marine 2 in a really long time.
Oh, I think for sure. And I think the fact that they didn't separate siege mode by like 5 difficulties, or like 6 difficulties in the operations, that's ridiculous. 6 difficulties? You don't need 6 difficulties in a game. But on hard
especially
mode,
since lethal is just baby absolute. I don't know why lethal exists.
It's pretty much the same. It just doesn't have like triple extremis. So I'll say right now, absolute is only hard with the true solo they added to absolute in the PTS server. The spawns are definitely lower than they were in like the modded ones. That's for sure. Like super, super low. So I don't know if it's gonna be a ton of fun for people who are looking for challenge outside like the boss, because the boss spawns are still brutal when you're playing without bots. But like siege mode really is the hardest content in this game by far. It's brutal. It's totally brutal. Like I really.
Mackenzie actually asked a really good question in chat there. What's the functional difference between normal and hard for siege mode?
From what I've seen, the enemies have less HP in normal. In hard mode, there are no enraged enemies in the hard mode, but there are a tremendous amount of enemies, and their HP feels the same as it is in absolute. That's something I've noticed. It's like I don't see any difference in hard mode from absolute difficulty in terms of how the enemies feel. It's just how many enemies there are and no enraged enemies. That's the biggest thing. And in some ways, absolute could be harder, because absolute, when you're playing by yourself, or like even with solo bots, it only gives you like the guaranteed stims on the map, but like at the actual ammo crates there are no stims, so you're a lot more resource hungry and like a lot of the operations here. But in siege mode, you kind of have to pick and choose what you're going to buy. But like the Dreadnought is a super, and we're going to go to hard, we're just going to go to the siege mode, because I want to talk about some of the requisitions real quick, because I just want to say the Cadian troops for siege mode, they suck ass. They suck ass. They are a worthless purchase. They will die so quickly. They will die as fast as you would expect a guardsman to die in 40k. But they cost you about as much as like just purchasing the actual Dreadnought in total if you buy all the tiers. It's ridiculous. The amount of extremists is insane on hard mode. It sure is. Let's say after a 3-hour period, I had killed 328 extremists and done like 400,000 damage with a heavy plasma. That's how many extremists there are. I don't really know what they'll come out to. But as far as bosses go, it's like 15 bosses. Like you're killing like a 40,000 point army, 1,000 Sons of Tyranids.
Yeah. Maybe for the guardsmen, it'd be more appropriate to make them permanent upgrades, where you purchase the upgrade and there's a guardsman that's like sitting up on a hill or a very high spot, and they kind of just add passive damage to you for the rest of the game. That might be a bit more appropriate for that kind of upgrade. I don't know.
Yeah,
It makes it different from the Dreadnought as well.
They're supposed to come in every wave, but they last, so they just don't last long at all. These Astartes reinforcements, these ones were goated. Tactical, the increased range damage by 20% for 5 minutes. This feels like a base damage increase, and you just start to obliterate things. Like, you'll start to two-shot certain extremis. I'm not sure of the exact breakpoints that it hits, but it's noticeable. I'll say that. It's very noticeable how much damage you do with this. Yeah. Sniper, increased headshot multiplier by 15%. That's pretty trash. Like, the actual bots you buy here don't matter all that much. It's really the effects you want, because these do a lot. And again, I just find tactical to be the best one overall. This one and heavy. But you really just want damage. Damage, because in this game, especially with the timer as it currently is, they kind of screw you over. And as far as like these consumables go, ammo cache is probably worth a lot more if you're with a team. By yourself, ammo boxes are all you need. The equipment ones, if you need to get like a melt bomb to get your equipment recharge going, that's pretty good. And then Medicae stims are always good. And then you just buy a Guardian Relic if you're by yourself, because you have to. Though I don't know how useful that actually is for other people. I've never actually played this with other people yet, so I don't know if you can actually like just revive people mid-wave. If anybody wants to tell me if you can or can't, let me know. And I'll see a wave here to show perfect chaos.
Operation. Allegiance confirmed. Thousand suns.
This class is kind of disgusting.
Iron Halo ready. Execute Iron Halo tactics.
Heavy plasma incinerator, dude.
Dude, it's fucking disgusting.
Nuts.
Yeah. I mean, look what we do to this guy. These guys are kind of like the hardest thing for you to deal with. But the little Iron Halo is so good for
Eliminate. Iron Halo online. Cultist classified.
as long as you get the drip feed of your armor back. Your damage reduction is just so high on this class. Like, it's deceptively high just with how good your HP is. And then that on top of the fact that you can pretty much just say turn off the enemy damage for as long as your Iron Halo is up when it comes to ranged enemies. A lot of the damage you take in this game is already from ranged enemies.
Fragmentation grenade out. Cover my reload.
So we have a
Yeah, I agree, Superstorm. If they remove that timer, I think that siege mode will be just a resounding success across the board. Like, it'll be absolutely crazy.
I'm just confused by that in the first place.
Yeah. Because siege mode already looks really fun, it looks really good. But, like, they just need to, in my opinion, this update needs to be perfect. I think that Space Marine 2 needs, like, a huge content W. And, like, everything that they could do to make the community happy, they need to do it.
Oh, I agree, for sure. And it's really the biggest issue. They can't have bad servers on launch again. That's what
Oh man, that's, yeah, I don't know about that.
They need to postpone it if they're gonna have, because you cannot have people getting disconnected from like 30 wave missions. This can't happen.
Yeah.
People will riot, and rightfully so. You know, I'm hesitant to say that it's impossible to complete some of these without the certain classes, but I would be pretty impressed if anybody actually got above like wave, I don't even know what, like wave 20 without a class like without like a DPS class.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's really cool about Siege mode is that it kind of contextualizes all the prestige perks. Because in the base game, with operations and absolute and everything, you don't really need the prestige perks. The prestige perks are optional. Prestiging is kind of just like a luxury that you don't have to chase if you don't want to. But with Siege mode, I think you definitely want those prestige perks. Like you want to min-max as much as you possibly can.
It's content that justifies the content in the game. Or I should say, it's content
Exactly.
that justifies the builds in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell people before. I mean, like some people, I understand it can be a little like it's not nobody likes to hear like, oh, this game's actually easy if someone's having a hard time. But like usually it's like when we're talking about builds, some builds are just super OP, and they are not. There's no content in the game that justifies those builds. But I'll say Space Marine 2 is better than Dark Tide with this. That Dark Tide's most OP builds, there's such a gap between them and the builds that are below them on like Havoc 40. That it's not that other builds aren't viable, it's that they don't feel good. They just don't feel good comparatively.
The weapon balance in Dark Tide is completely shot. I think that with Space Marine 2, it's kind of brilliant that for some classes, like fencing weapons are really amazing. And then for other classes, block weapons are like super freaking goated. Like it's cool that you have that variation with like your melee weapons, and then of course with the ranged weapons. You know, when we look at a class like tactical, there are going to be reasons to use a stalker bolt rifle, and then there are going to be reasons to use the bolt carbine. Like they are provided in the game, so just pretty damn good balanced decisions from Saber all around.
I know, it's a shocking statement, except I'm pretty sure they were listening to me when I said battle focus is OP. They know shit.
Someone did point out earlier in chat, I think it was Matt, they said that battle focus not proccing on block weapons apparently is a confirmed bug.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
What about bosses?
Well, yeah, what about bosses,
Yeah, what about
though?
bosses? I noticed it wasn't proccing on bosses as a fencing weapon either. So I'm like, So I will say this, that not having a block weapon with battle focus just showed me how shit fencing actually is in tactical. It is so much worse. It like actually neuters the class. Because the way Aspect parry in this game works, like I was talking about this a little bit before stream, is that on a block, on a perfect block, you'll get the Aspect's parry immediately. But with the fencing weapons, it has to, like, all the enemies have to do their string. So you can go like 3 hits, on, like 2 hits on a Ravener, or 2 parries on a Ravener before you actually get the block, or the Aspect, excuse me.
It's kind of interesting. The whenever I take battle focus on tactical, which is whenever I play tactical, it just kind of goes hand in hand with block weapons, because when you get your charges after your 2 blocks, you just delete extremist enemies, because most extremist enemies have a 2 or 3 hit combo, and usually you can hit them and interrupt the 3rd hit in their combo. Especially if it's multiple enemies and you're doing chainsword skipping, like, it's
The Ravener.
pretty amazing.
The Ravener's what I noticed the most on. Or the Digger. I say sometimes in this
Terminators as well, right?
game. Yeah. I'd say melee Terminators are pretty mean. The reason we take Heavy Bolt Pistol on this build, by the way, for all you Plasma fans out there, is that Heavy Bolt Pistol is just way better for Zone Thrifts. And that's kind of like, it's not that they're hard to hit with Heavy Plasma, but they can move a little bit. And we don't really have an increased projectile speed on this weapon anymore. So sometimes they can do a little quick read and screw you over. I swear to God, sometimes these things change.
Chungus in the chat asked, what do you think the best class is right now?
Heavy. I don't think it's close either.
I think the AoE damage that the Heavy brings to the table, the survivability, the fact that they do so good against Chaos in a game mode where you're going to have to fight Chaos and Tyranids.
He has one build
I
that
think Heavy
dominates
is...
both.
Yeah, exactly.
And it dominates bosses. That's the biggest thing. Because Vanguard also dominates both Chaos and Tyranids, but when it comes to like triple boss spawns, he doesn't have good Nova damage. He never has. He's like a little rat that like slips around and like wriggles and gets his HP back. But as far as like super high burst damage goes, that's really only found in his grapple execute. He's supposed to be like slippery and like a consistent survivability. That's why he has so
Yeah,
many-
the Vanguard is very, very good on a team though with like a heavy or something, because when you consider that you're basically reducing the HP of everything by what, like 25-30% because of the grapple execute. Like, I think that that's extremely valuable.
Oh, for sure. Alright, I may have muted on the ammo.
Ooh.
I'll have ammo. Just the higher waves you get, the better your perk becomes.
Yeah. More extreme response is good when you're using auxiliary
Yeah,
reload.
I noticed that when I did one run that had like 6 extreme spawns at once, and I was like, hey, wait a second, I have infinite ammo.
Yep.
So, in this wave, it's not too hard to go to these and buy something, but like when there's like 50 bajillion soul cannons shooting at you, purchasing ammo kind of becomes a pain.
Engaging elite countermeasures.
This is what
Makes sense.
Like, this class is just so damn good. I know since people talk about the multi-melta being really good for this, and it definitely is. It just struggles more with bosses than Plasma does. I think Plasma really is just strictly better. Maybe a little harder to use against like point-blank enemies, but really, you don't struggle with a lot of lictors or raptors anyways on this class. Though I will say the heavy does have a bit of a skill cap when it comes to like getting yourself locked in your heavy stance.
Yeah.
That is hard.
For team compositions, do you think that the classes that benefit from killing extremist enemies, like for example, the Vanguard and their like unlimited team healing perk and the heavy with auxiliary reload, do you think those are going to kind of be like the best classes because they benefit from more harder enemies?
I feel like Vanguard's definitely a high A tier, in my opinion. I think he's the closest besides to S. I wouldn't put him quite in S. I know he just like that might sound like heresy to people, but I'm just talking about a solo tier list. Like in group play, he's definitely S tier of the teams. But then with that caveat, if you have someone else that's making up for like the slight loss in bonded burst damage, you're pretty good. But definitely, unmatched deal grants healing the classes that have none on their own. I think that alone makes it pretty incredible here.
Maintaining battlefield
Ooh,
surveillance.
Pahones or P. Jones asks, as a sniper man on Siege, should they be using a fencing, balance, or block
Restocking
knife?
ammunition.
Block.
I'm on team block knife.
Definitely block knife.
Block knife is freaking nuts, dude.
Whatever survivability you're losing against Minoris for whatever reason, you're gonna get back to Purification, which is an absolutely OP perk with your 2 seconds of invulnerability perk.
Yeah.
You can survive so much bullshit as a sniper. It's like, honestly, it feels almost cheese at times how good he is at just wriggling out of things. But yeah, that 2 seconds of invulnerability on the Emperor's Grace perk, that means that you don't only take 0 damage, you also take 0 knockback. You don't exist in the eyes of the enemies, basically. Well, you exist, but you can't do anything. You're a non-entity for 2 seconds.
Perimeter defenses must not be compromised.
Yeah, that happens.
Hate to see it.
Iron Halo online. Counter Chaos Forces successfully deployed. The perimeter defenses must maintain power.
These sorcerers can be a little obnoxious, but
Thermal explosive ready. Iron Halo ready. Thousand suns deploy the Terminator. We must locate a new power cell for the defensive generator.
I will also say that on these waves, the first 5 waves you fight, like the first 10, I should say, they give you way more points than the later waves do for some reason. I think that should be changed because you can barely afford 1 dreadnought on your own, even with like 10 waves, if you're not properly purchasing. But you get like a dread, like maybe 2, maybe you spend all your points on them, which is fine. But when the game starts sending like, I don't know, 10 enemies at you, or I should say like in the span of like 10 waves, you get 4 triple boss waves. That's pretty busted, if you ask me.
Ready. The defensive generator requires a replacement power cell.
That conviction, man. Take no damage. Just take no range damage, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just like watching your contested health the entire time, and it's just absolutely crazy how with this many enemies on the screen, this many enemies shooting you, because you know you're fighting chaos, like you're just shrugging everything off.
Perimeter defenses require
Imagine you had a fencing window. That's the only downside of
Yep.
them.
Yep.
The only thing that keeps them balanced.
Iron Haven online.
I mean, you kind of have to like a knowledge of the dance of heavy, because you can, if you overheat at the wrong time, you will fucking die. But
Right. It's good to have a skill gap with this weapon, though. You know,
Must maintain power.
they definitely need it.
yeah, for sure. All it takes is 1 fuck up and you're pretty cooked.
Iron Haven ready.
Well, maybe not so good because you have like 30% extra HP. Which is funny that it slept on that perk for so long. It's kind of like the heavy's been on quite a journey, but at no point in that journey was he ever bad in this game. He's always been pretty good. He's just been good in different ways. Now he's just the king.
I can't wait for someone to do the wave 24 all melee heavy build.
All
Clear.
melee heavy build. I don't think it's possible.
No damage. No damage, dude.
This is like the first time I've ever seen. Actually, this mode is the first time I've ever seen a mode where I'm like, okay, some things might just be straight up impossible by yourself. Even without
Oh
a timer.
yeah, dude. I like that though. I like the fact that like there are just gonna be some things you can't do on your own. You need to lean on your team in order to like clear the mode. Like yeah, make it that hard. Like let's go. It's a co-op game. It should be that hard.
There should be.
It's like Havoc 40 in Dark Tide right now. Like unless you're stealth cheesing, you're probably not clearing Havoc 40 by yourself.
Yeah. Man, Havoc 40, dude. Dark Tide's hard in like totally different ways than this game is. Quite funny.
Yep.
Tactics. Heresy quotient reduced.
This game is a lot more slow paced, I'd say.
That, and then it's also like with Dark Tide, you know, when you're doing something like Havoc 40, like everyone really needs to understand like movement, maps, retreating. You know, you get a twins plus a captain plus a boss spawn. And you're like, okay, we have to really utilize all of our space to deal with this. Whereas in Space Marine 2, it's like you can't really kite because everything moves as fast as I do, and
you kind of have to
chaos
kite
enemies.
to the new bosses. I would say that's one thing that you do.
But could you kite in a mode like this where like the arena is not ever expansive, like you have kind of like a limited
Oh, I'll show you what
fighting
running
area?
like a bitch looks like. Trust me, we'll get there.
Oh man. But I feel like Space Marine 2 is about timing, right? Like it's kind of like Elden Ring. Like you need to get your parries, you need to get your perfect dodges.
All that goes out the window. The 3 health roots are shooting you simultaneously.
Oh man.
It's really like
presence on the
You don't even know what the fuck's going on half the time. You just hear sounds going off, and you're like, all I know is this wall is going to stop whatever's in that direction from shooting me. It's really more about your positioning at that point. That's why when I'm fighting like a Hellbrute, oh look, perfect. Speak of the devil.
Hey, here we go. Yep.
Oh. Yeah, see that thing. When there's 3 of these guys shooting those at you, pretty bullshit.
Enhanced tactic ready. Engaging elite counter.
Fridge Picker, Darktide is definitely worth getting into. The game is in the best state that it's ever been in. I look at Darktide and Space Marine 2 as like 2 completely different experiences. Like for me, Space Marine 2 is more of an action game, and Darktide is very much like a build crafty, not looter shooter. They kind of removed the looting aspect of it, but sometimes it definitely feels like it.
I wasn't paying attention to my ammo at all. That was easy.
Oh, yep. But yeah, Darktide has a lot of content now, like a ton. And we're about to get more with the new RPDs class. It's pretty exciting, to be honest.
There.
Focus on high priority targets.
Well, I know this guy's almost dead, so. Alright, get my ammo. Oh yeah, also we get the low HP. Forgot this gun is an emergency fund. Usually you don't get that low.
One life. Iron payload holder in progress.
This is what I'm saying, dude. So like you're kiting here, but you're having to interact with the game while you kite. In Darktide, you just run. You just run back, regroup with your team, and then you deal with the problems. For this, like it's very interactive kiting. You're fighting the entire time.
Except when there's 3. Trust me,
Oh,
when there's 3, dude, there's just you're an armadillo. You're a roll.
Yeah, just rolling around, waiting for your chance to DPS.
Refilling magazine.
Yeah, bad. Oh, I fucking killed my ex. Glorious.
Remain active.
Ladder right there.
Yeah, that is a good question, Matt. When there are 3 bosses, does it feel like they kind of have lower health pools, or
No.
no?
No. Not at all.
Oh man.
It's just 3 bosses. It is, however bad you think 3 Hellbrutes sounds like, it is that bad. Maybe worse. It is the hardest content this game's ever seen, for sure.
Yeah. I fucking love to hear that.
That well, but we got them. As long as you don't waste too many sims in the intro, we don't really purchase anything. We have a lot of points stored up. But that's another thing with heavy, is you really don't have to buy a ton, because you're pretty efficient on HP.
Heresy quotient.
And there's usually a few sims around the map, so you can like use a couple. It'll happen.
Exactly, Luis. Just be a man and solo those 3 Hellbrute. Listen, guys, you're a Primaris Space Marine, okay?
That's just a dreadnought.
You are. That's just a dreadnought. You're supposed to be able to solo this shit. Canonically.
Yeah, just think about how many points is like a Primaris worth. 40,000?
All 40,000.
all Warhammer 40,000 point Primaris army. Primaris. The Warhammer 40,000 point army.
Heresy contained.
I'll say the worst thing that will happen with heavy is sometimes you're too powerful and you just one-shot the enemy. You intend
Fresh magazine.
to execute. So there are two ways Horde mode can go, where the first wave can either be Tyranids or Chaos, and depending on that, that will decide which triple wave you're fighting first. Having your first wave be Tyranids is definitely easier for like the whole game experience at like wave 15 and like wave 20. Maybe not wave 20, because your wave 15 will be like a triple Carnifex or like a double Carnifex and a Neurothrope. And double Carnifex Neurothrope isn't as bad as it sounds, because a Neurothrope in this, it's pretty easy to get out of the way of their giant wave shot.
Yeah, because that has a limited range, right? You can kind of just run away from the Neurothrope.
It's quite big, but you can definitely get away from it.
Forklift Mortified, no, there are no new weapons in the update. I believe they would have added them to the public test server if there were, since they added, like, you know, the Thunderhammer to the Bulwark.
I might just put new weapons
just so that just so that people could test them.
Why enemy Space Marines so weak? Because they're not named.
Yep, they're not named. They're not player characters. You know, we've
Unless
killed
you're
the
talking about the
entire.
damage Heavy Plasma's doing, in which case that's just because Heavy Plasma fucks. That's really. I've seen this before in like old videos when Heavy Plasma was actually worse, and people are like, "Oh, there's no way this is absolute. He's doing so much damage." I'm like, have people ever played like a Relic tier Heavy Plasma in this game? Because this gun will just one-shot some Majora's enemies. It's pretty good. So now we have to fight Tyranids. I say this is probably my favorite of the maps they have for this.
Preparing Tyranid suppression
one here.
tactics.
Okay. It's like facility.
This little spot over here is where I hide like a pussy when there's range enemies. A lot of pillars here you can
Nice.
maneuver around.
So I have a question for you, dude, and this is actually a good question for chat as well. What do you and what do you guys chat think that after like Horde mode is released, like what is the thing that Space Marine 2 needs next? What is going to be the next big content update? We already know that a new class is coming, but like, is Saber working on anything that's actually going to surprise us? Like, what does the game need?
I would say, you know, the go-tos would be new factions, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Maybe though, depending on how many players this gets back.
Dude, maybe. Like, I think that if enough people come back for Siege mode or the new class, like, and there's enough buzz, or maybe they do a big update where they introduce, like, more than just, like, a sidearm. Like, if they add more melee weapons, or primary weapons, I think that a lot of people would more consistently play.
They definitely would. I mean, people want.
Dude, I want to
Space
fucking.
Marine too.
I want a power axe so badly. I was playing Assault the other day, and I was like, I want something that hits harder than like the chainsword or the power sword, but isn't as slow as the power fist or thunderhammer. I feel like there's no in between kind of weapon. So I really want the power axe, and I want it to be that in between kind of weapon.
That's what I really in between weapons are there. You know, people say
it's
they want
either-
power claws all the time.
I feel like that'd be a very fast weapon. I assume it would, anyways. Power claws are really freaking cool, and they're also one of those things where it's like a power axe is very recognizable for any like fantasy setting. Like you just kind of picture like a magic enchanted axe. But like power claws are like kind of unique to 40k, kind of like the chainsword. Like it's like very unique to 40k. It's super thematic.
What do you mean? The chainswords were obviously made in Gears of War.
Okay. Good.
That reminds me of the time when my friend that was like, actually, he loves Warhammer, but like, he didn't know a whole lot about it. Dead ass thought that Lord of the Rings came out after Warhammer Fantasy, and I'm like, that's not how these things work. Yeah, we kind of just decimate chaos with this. Like, that's the biggest thing you have to watch out for, the Ravager. Frags. Worth. So if you don't dodge, sometimes you actually get the shot. Back.
Subterranean tyranny annihilated. Cover my reload.
Plastic is disgusting.
War mines inbound. High priority tyranny.
The Superstorm asked if you're going to be playing the original Space Marine, the Master Crafted Edition. That's going to be launching next week.
Maybe.
I don't think I'm going to play it on release. For me, that's going to be like a, you know, I'm going to pick it up. I'm gonna kind of slot out like a weekend during this summer to just like play through the entire campaign, throw myself at some of the multiplayer, and try to enjoy it kind of on my own time. Like I'm not worried about like trying to create any content for it or anything like that. I never do that. Like I just want to enjoy it. Yeah.
Besides, like, are you ever gonna make a review of Space Marine 2 that's better than Mandalorian?
No, probably not.
Like, are you Mandalorian gaming, dude? I don't think so. So, like, you know, leave the retro gaming to the professionals.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Fresh magazine.
As a heavy, RT10 Hammer asks, what's the best way to shut down biowars?
You charge up your plasma gun like this, and you go, boom, and you do it again.
Big boom.
Shoot him in the turret, disarcing him. Make sure when you're using your heavy plasma, you charge it all the way up, or it won't work.
Restock and reload.
It will not do like the big bonus damage from charge shit.
Resupply.
There's like a, I don't know what the actual number is, but there's a big fat damage boost it gets if you hold it all the way down.
I got a question for you in chat again, and I think it's a very fun question. So, Space Marine 3 factions, what do we want to see?
Works.
Orcs, dude. Oh my god, yes. I think orcs are like #1 on the list. That's actually one of the reasons why I want to play Space Marine again, is because like I want to fight orcs. Like they just say some of the funniest shit while you're fighting them.
Targeting enemies.
I want orcs in Space Marine 3. I actually love fighting Tyranids, so I actually low-key hope that they appear again. And then I think that Black Legion Chaos, having 3 enemy factions, Black Legion Chaos have a good variety of things that you can fight against. A lot of demons, for example. I think those 3 factions would kind of be like my ideal, like this is peak Space Marine kind of
You know
experience.
what I want? Orcs and Tyranids to like collide into each other on a tomb world, and then like all the Necrons wake up and like, what the fuck is on our planet? It's just the fattest.
Dude.
It's just the fattest wog, and like it's just a few Necrons wake up and they're like, holy shit, this sucks.
I honestly think that Games Workshop would greenlight it. I think that they would let Saber and Focus do it. I think that they saw the success of Space Marine 2's like release and everything. They'd totally go in on it.
Alright, this is the dangerous part. Depends on whether or not this guy's gonna.
Detected tactical orders of a void shield restoration. I am Halo.
Be real careful when something like a Raptor. They can definitely trap you.
Need to attack tyranny back.
Alright, so if you run by these guys and give them a little boom. As long as you walk by the biovores, they'll actually step up. And you don't always one-shot them with your swear to God, it was electric. I'm gonna go through them up.
The Spore Mines may have gotten them.
And they worked on it. They did reduce their damage by 55%.
Multiple position.
It's always funny to me how much
Source of
you
presence still. Restoration
wow,
of
that's
void
actually
shield
put down.
remains a priority.
bug this ninja fix. Where like you do a perfect block or a perfect parry, most of the punches not register. It won't do damage to you, but like the attack phase 3, you'll be stuck in an animation. I've also come into contact with a very rare bug where I've been unable to block as my heavy or aim for like 2 seconds.
I think when it comes to remakes, I'm definitely much more excited for the Dawn of War remaster that's going to be coming out either later this year or early next year. I actually can't wait to get my hands on the game again.
If you were 4 fonts, this guy says 4 fonts. And Space Marine 1 was more iconic than Chaos Leader. That's true.
It is true.
I heard more about
the Chaos Lord doesn't really appear till the end of the game though. Like maybe the last like 20% of the game or so. And then he's just a stereotypical chaos, champion.
I just can't wait until we can see all the dumb Titus memes when the next game comes out. They're coming.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be brother for like 15, for like a good 3 weeks, probably a month, maybe 2 months. Endless Emperors Protect.
Ammunition restocked.
Chaos is ass in that game too. Chaos is just ass. That's why we had to purge them. It's all about. Let's check this. Let's see. This is going pretty well. Things don't get too crazy until we get to the next portion, which is wave 15. The boss fight here is a double boss fight on wave 10. I did see somebody say that if you can kill 5 warriors in this game, you can kill 100. And that is true. It's because of how the AI works. But I did do like there was like a modded horde mode somebody did. And in that, there were like, I shit you not, like a clown car of warriors that pop out of the corner. Like 80 warriors. The hard part was deflecting them. It was seeing which one was actually going to attack. It's like I was Mace Windu in like the Clone Wars 2003 show.
Dude, that was a good show.
Yeah, where he was fighting all the B2 battle droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he had to blow away the dust to see like where they all were. That's how I felt.
And then he goes like monk mode.
Yeah, he goes like
punching everything.
One of this dude beat Palpatine's ass.
Yeah.
So this is what you do against
a dude on the internet made a very good comment here. If they had Tau in Space Marine 3, then God save us. And that's so accurate because, like, with our current combat system, we just get absolutely fucking destroyed by Tau, dude. Just all ranged enemies.
Not really
Constantly running away and shit. No. But what would be fucking amazing to have Tau in, and we need a studio to make this game. We need like a Battlefront type game with Tau versus Astra Militarum. Like we need that. Dude. It'd be so fucking good. Battlefront, Battlefield, whatever style they choose.
EA would never touch a game as like violent as 40k for a shooter.
Yeah, for real.
Like, yeah, we can't sell packs to like children like this.
Hey, they can lean on the fucking very fanatical and loving 40K audience who will buy all the packs. They 100% will.
They're like, this is a steal, only $40?
Yeah, only $40, not $4,000 for my
40K simulator. Like, you like
Oh my
God. Like 40K simulator, and it's like, get a 2,000 point RE for only like $800. They're like, it's a steal.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna make out like bandits with this one. It'd be like if they had it's like Magic the Gathering Arena, where it's like, guys, my virtual Magic deck only cost me like $800. On tabletop, it cost me like $3,000. Save money.
That's how you know it's a fantasy. It's fake.
Yeah, that's true. That's why they all go to STEM.
You've never seen
all
this
these Magic
before.
players go to STEM so they can afford their hobby. God. Alright.
Iron Hammer, one line.
That's good. Now recently my old mouse broke. Couldn't aim down my sights anymore.
Oh, really?
So I was really struggling to aim for a bit. This one, until I figured out the sensitivity. It was so wacky when I swapped over. Ooh,
Refilling
an ammo box just for me.
Oh, Louise asked, since there are so many extremists and bosses, do you see yourself taking vital data over priority target?
Yes,
tactical?
I do. Actually, I was thinking about that. I was trying to solo triple Hellbrutes. I didn't take the Dreadnought, but and I thought to myself, yeah, Auspex is like the only way to do serious damage to these guys in Plasma. Because you need that AoE shot.
In that case, when you're playing on a team on tactical, do you even run battle focus at that point, or do you just simply run the equipment thing? Because the equipment thing is in that column, right?
It's a team perk. It's a team perk. It's even better. You just give up your 15% range damage to the team, or your contested health recovery.
But don't they also have a perk in the column with battle focus, where when you scan a certain amount of enemies, you get
Yeah, but that's kind of redundant.
more
when you have,
equipment?
like a 60-second cooldown, your melt bomb, anyways.
Hey, if you just are able to spam meltas every 10 seconds,
That's true.
I mean,
you become the bomber tactical. That sounds
Yeah.
like a big Dom build.
it's a big Dom build. Oh my god, love it. You guys probably don't know the reference in chat. Big Dom is a Dark Tide content creator, amazing veteran player, and he kind of got big in that community from making like a grenade veteran build.
That's so funny, dude.
That's really fun and really good.
Someone's played with him the other day. Someone played with him months ago. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at getting mad at people. Everyone looks so bad. I don't open my Discord or my community my email enough.
There are a lot of really cool people in the like 40K YouTube space. Like the moment you go on Reddit though, holy fuck, dude. People are crazy toxic. It's nuts.
It's like Battlefront 2's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Battlefront 2 is like the sweatiest game. It's a sweaty game where everybody says like, "Oh, dude, why is this guy taking it so seriously? This is a casual game." It's like, I still had this, I was playing Battlefront 2 with my friend Lanky the other day. My name on there is Friend of Lanky. My friend's name is Lanky Friend. And it's been like that for like 4 years. But I've played a lot of it back in the day, and this guy last night was like, I did a bit of movement attack with General Grievous, ridiculous bunny hop, exploiting I see, and I'm like, oh, we call him like, it's basically like, you know, if you were to animation cancel with your shield in this game. But there's like a major discrepancy in that game's player base. So like some players are so casual that they actually think like an animation cancel is cheating.
Matt says, do you think they'll ever add a faction select for horde mode so that we can only fight nids or chaos? I don't think so, Matt. And honestly, I kind of like the variety of having
They need to add the
loadouts. Yeah, they need to add loadouts is what they need to add, to where you can specifically gear a loadout with perks included, not just weapons, for fighting either Tyranids or Chaos when you know you're going to be fighting them in that set of waves.
You know, on the note of, not to be on top of that, but on the note of Reddit, have you ever been on this game stuff Reddit before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. Oh yeah. 100%.
I haven't looked at it for the interface of this right yet. Curious. Like, I know there's
Here,
I know it's like a top loaded post of like.
Restoration of eternal fortresses.
I'll pull it up right now. I'll give you the give you the boots on the ground coverage. I'm gonna be your ski today.
Why not? You ever watch that Witcher 4 gameplay review?
I did. I've never been a super huge Witcher enjoyer. Like Witcher 3 is a great game, but you know me, dude.
You're a fan.
Well, I'm a fucking Souls gamer, dude. Gameplay is king.
There was a really good mod for that game as far as that was very Souls-like.
Oh yeah.
That's honestly the hardest game I ever played. It was brutal. It was like brutal in that kind of like ever so clunky way.
So on the Space Marine Reddit, top post here, number 1. I love it. I love the energy. This timer shit just ain't it. Wave 28 failed for no other reason than time ran out.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and upvote this post. That's a good one, bro.
Base take.
Yeah, very based. Remove siege mode timer. Yes.
Get to a bad take. Get to a highly upvoted bad take.
I'm scrolling.
It's like, sort by controversial.
Let's see.
Iron Halo, one line.
You can sort posts by controversial? I don't think you can.
You should be able to. Button.
No option for it. Maybe on the Space Marine 2 subreddit? Because I'm on the Space Marine one right now.
Oh, there's a Space Marine.
Based?
System failure. Well done.
Yeah, there is. It's mostly people posting gameplay, though.
This is only a
That's
pause.
okay. That's acceptable. It's not
Reload before the
controversial.
battle resumes. Maintaining battlefield surveillance.
Oh, there's gotta be a bad. Read the comments.
Okay.
There's gotta be a bad take in there somewhere.
Enhanced tactic ready.
Gonna open up the timer thread here.
So
Let's
for
get
this
the controversial
wave,
comments.
we're gonna buy the 200% damage increase off the tactical bot. I want to show people how much damage you can do. If we get a double current effects, we're gonna blow its asshole out. Not like that, but we're gonna do a lot of damage. I'm trying to say. Where's this? These little armor boosts are actually useful versus chaos if you strategically place them. You bind them this room.
The enemy appears, brothers. Stand ready. We shall eliminate them.
Look at us. So these last for 5 minutes. They only go off during the wave.
Tactical reinforcement on its way. Those are locals.
Dude, even when I sort by controversial, everyone agrees that there should be no timer.
Yeah, well, they're all right, but
Is that little old Zambit? Old Zambit doing the chat?
They haven't been seen in 45 years. It's good.
I know.
can't look at my chat right now, but Zambit, we've tier listed the classes for the solo of this. I don't even think Tactical's in like S tier anymore. Honestly, I don't think it's in A tier. I think it's in B, like B plus. I think Heavy's just king.
Specialized bioform.
We're pushing the higher waves.
Zambit, do you want to hop in this call? Yeah, I wanna hear Zambit's take. We need another expert in here.
Yes, experts. That's what we are. By the way, thanks, Jeff.
Do you want me to just call in our other group that we have with Zambit?
Sure. Let me just pause this Carnifex fight.
Yep.
Let's see if he joins. If he's busy, I swear to God.
Oh no, Zambit's probably not even at his computer, dude.
Oh,
He's just on his phone, laying in bed, and we're just disturbing him.
It's grinding hours, dude. And my dentist always said I grinding my sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Oh.
What the?
He's here! He's here!
I know, isn't this crazy? Look at this. See, they group up. So this is why it's good. You can get both of them at once.
Yeah, I don't know if I have much of a take, because honestly, I haven't played it much.
It's hard.
I got off stream yesterday because I had been up for like 24 hours prior, and then streamed 8 hours, and then fucking crashed.
Oh, it was crashing for me too.
I mean, like, crashed in real life, but I did also crash in the game.
Oh gosh.
No, so we use crash out for so many turns now. It gets very confusing.
Your crash does have like 4 or 5 turns, doesn't it?
Yeah, wow, that was a nice melted bomb. See that one, Jeff? Let me rate that one.
3 seconds when it shows me.
Swarm mines inbound.
That was a good one, yeah.
Kill confirmed.
Part of the boss.
Tyranid threat. Biovore confirmed.
Actually, what's the highest wave you've made it to?
24. And we got time down.
24.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Heavy might be the only class in prior so
Iron Hail ready.
Probably. Heavy makes that something being the best class because he has super high damage and super high cleaves, so
Contact.
It's the AoE.
yeah.
I think he's definitely the extra class for this right now. I know people were like, I say Vanguard makes it really easy to get to the
If Assault had more damage reduction and maybe more ways to get your ground pound back outside of Zealous, I think for situations like this, it'd be pretty nutty.
You could, but I definitely think for this Dash Assault, it's like, what you want to do? Because Dash Assault is like, gets
We were
better
talking
than
about
what
that.
on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I got a double recharge on Carnifex for
Extreme prejudice deployed. Keep your attention on the strongest threats.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah, Heavy
Vanguard is going to be good, especially in a team because the healing on extremist kills is going to be crazy. But damage is definitely going to be king in this game mode because there's just so many.
Zone through.
Yeah, especially if they're launching with a timer.
Focus on high priority targets. Ready.
But just the more enemies you can kill, the faster you can do it is going to be extremely valuable. But hey, the Vanguard grapple execute might just be what you need for speeding things up.
Yeah, I think the only issue with Vanguard is he's gonna struggle with triple bosses a lot.
Oh no, he definitely does. Yeah, I don't even see any
Like, unless you just somehow play around the execute, that's like the only thing I can think of.
Stand firm against the remaining.
Triple Hellbird might be the hardest thing this game has ever had.
Oh yeah.
It's disgusting. It's quite comical how much easier the classes are.
I think if this was only tier 1s and it didn't rotate, I think 30 would be pretty possible. But chaos kind of threw a wrench into that.
Assault's so screwed by chaos.
Yeah.
Just not good against him. Not like horrific, but he takes more damage than you can possibly accept. This many, like, I mean, if he gets caught by a soul cannon, it's just
I am here, friend.
Yeah, soul cannons are... I got shredded on them a lot by yesterday.
That's like they've learned too. The AI now likes to flank you.
Yeah, you have to do like circles around them constantly to get them to stop.
That's definitely true. I saw them like coming up behind me, like I would go down into like the lower areas, and then there'd just be like a guy chilling there with his gun pointed at me.
Our enemies head for the control room. Meet them
Waiting
there.
for his moment.
Confirming mission.
So they've been practicing. It's pretty good. Alright, so now we're at like wave 10. I think my issue is, what do you think, Zambit, about them having to... I think they should change it so you actually get your perk loadouts. Your loadouts, I think it's like required if you're gonna have a double faction.
Oh yeah. That's something I didn't like, is not being able to change perks. That's just like a thing in the game. Well, I don't know, I guess in the normal game it's fine, but in Horde mode there definitely should be an option to like loadout switch to a different
I think it's
perk
really
loadout.
bad when you have to fight two factions. Because like Assault has some builds that like just do not function well at all on Chaos.
Yeah, like I think I would probably want to switch between like a fist build and a dash build between the two.
Nice gaming ass. It changes enemies, it does. Every 5 waves you swap factions.
I'm still surprised they did triple bosses in this. I was not expecting
Dude,
that.
I'm glad. I think that's amazing.
Oh no,
You
I'm
know
not
whoever took
complaining.
that up was like, fuck yeah, we're gonna make some people fucking rage with this one.
Hell yeah.
Enemy forces incoming.
I'm just really hoping they don't nerf the density. I do agree the timer should probably either become a little bit more lenient or...
It gets really bad. It's like 7 minutes for one wave.
Or maybe it should scale. Like maybe that should be the... I don't know if it does scale, but if it does...
I think
well,
that's
okay.
stupid.
Probably, but I don't mind the timer. I feel like it probably should just be a little bit more forgiving if you're playing solo.
Remember there was a modifier that one time months ago? And they never added a modifier ever again.
Little Judius in chat says, what if they added more prestige ranks for more damage on all classes? Judius, I think I'd rather them add more perks. Like add another perk for each column, basically. Just to have more variety. And there's nothing stopping them from doing that. They totally could.
Yeah, I definitely like more perks.
Well, yeah, a new perk. There, we boost your recharge.
Yeah. Dude.
I don't want to take responsibility, but...
Oh, Zambit, I saw your hardcore Doom run. I was like, this is pretty nuts. Yeah.
I was playing it actually, literally, before. Just a new update came out today that changed a whole bunch of the combat, and one of my friends who did the combat was yelling at me to play it, so...
Oh shit.
I was
giving
super
feedback.
excited for that game, so I didn't expect to see you on Space Marine for a while. But
I'm probably gonna, like, play both. I'm still planning on doing
I think this difficulty works for duoing.
Yeah. I was saying that, but somebody mentioned, like, us playing, it was like, I think this is, like,
Yeah,
probably
actually,
worth going.
A difficulty actually worth doing. Yeah. Also get past like the really annoying waves. And you work waves.
I do think if you have two people that don't like burn through stims, probably tack heavy would be disgusting
Yeah, tack
duo because you amp the heavy.
Have you used that new equipment recharge perk he has?
Yes, that shit is insane. I mean, it's literally just yoink from Dark Tide. I saw that and I was like, wow, they just stole veteran grenade perk.
There are worse. There are worse.
Made it better.
Games.
Sure.
True.
They should steal the skill tree from Dark Tide.
And that
And the death.
Counter chaos measures successfully deployed.
they keep counting rares. I mystery maybe.
Nah, the mystery's
No,
just-
that dude's talked too much shit already.
Cultist pacified.
It is crazy we live in a timeline where Dark Tide's actually getting a new class. I did not expect that to happen. I don't know why.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. It's been like 3 years since the game came out. Almost 3 years, I think.
Well, I feel like it also kind of like shatters a lot of players' expectations, and a lot of the doomers kind of in the community who were like, yeah, this will never happen. I think they're all starting to consider like, huh, maybe we will get Gene Stealers. Maybe we will get another faction. Like, maybe more stuff is being worked on in the background.
Dude, if Dark Tide becomes like super popular, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm out playing Dark Tide when funny Judge Dredd comes out.
Alright,
He's just
excuse
Judge
that I
Dredd to
am
me.
overextended
Enhanced
myself.
tactic ready.
Just for fleet. So I found on this map the best place to stay is like here and here because you can loop the Hellbrutes around this. This little pillar
Advance to
here
position.
was where I sat on tactical for like 20 minutes and just because you can kind of get away from all the soul cannons pretty easily. It's like cut them off. There's a lot of strategic boxes.
Exchanging elite countermeasures.
I think I just went in circles around this, those like doors. Just constantly.
You can do. I try not to use.
I don't think I caught it.
15
It makes sense for heavy. I don't think heavy needs to dreadnought on.
Oh, you can.
The,
It's the extremities right there. So what happens is the melee terminators will get one knockback on you and also
There, that's Chover for heavy.
of course worse from Hellbrutes, I mean.
I don't know how I lived. I lived it somehow, but like all 3 Hellbrutes were like juggling me yesterday, and I fucking got out of it. I don't know how.
There are times
But-
when you take one execute and like you're just in them.
Yeah, coming back to this game after playing Dark Ages with all the executes, I'm like, goddamn. I kind of wish this game had Dark Ages system a little bit. I wish you could have both. But then people like the executes.
I like Doom 26.
I think it's.
didn't
I think
play
you'd like it.
Eternal. I knew that Eternal was good. I knew that people were hating on Eternal. I'm like, these are casuals. They don't understand.
Well, it's funny. People like
A lot
hating
of
on Dark Ages too.
a lot of people are hating on Dark Ages. I was going to ask you, Zan, but is a lot of that like criticism warranted, or like where's that coming from?
Equipping additional stims.
It's weird because like every Doom game is, well, okay. I'm gonna say something people don't really agree with, but 2016 and Eternal are very similar games. Eternal just upgraded 2016, in my opinion.
When I was playing it, it just felt like it was more. It was a slightly sweatier version. I felt.
Yeah. But Dark Ages is definitely a very completely different thing, especially because like the modern Doom games are more like Quake than like classic Doom.
Yeah.
But this game is much more like classic Doom, even though it's like got more modern mechanics. But I don't know. I think some of it's warranted because most of it's just opinion, but some of the hate is really funny.
Misinformed opinions, and you're the arbiter, so tell them. It's a misreset. So they become the arbiter of everything in Dark Side.
Deploy the Terminator.
Arbiter of everything in Dark Tide. He's like the only dude doing Dark Tide stuff
Yeah,
now.
I know. That's why I said we should make an actionable council and have the most verified runs in Dark Tide. The verified council made by you.
Iron Halo ready.
The council's actually just mystery.
Terminator.
Feed him React content on stream.
Disruptive power bomb. Rendering damage.
Content.
Iron Halo online.
No, dude. I think he would do it if he saw the opportunity.
No, he's not.
I think I've talked to him about this before.
Apply anti-sorcerer battle.
He's never used it.
Version.
True.
Operational. Remain tasked with infiltrate retrieval.
That's the purity of a dark type player.
Yeah, Zamba, we've gone through like all the talking points. Like, I kind of like brought up that like this update needs to be really good, and like they actually really need to nail siege mode. Like, I think the first thing they need to do is remove the timer. Like that needs to be prioritized before siege mode releases, and then maybe after release, they can finally add actual loadouts to the game, so that we can switch our perks around in siege mode. Just make it a better experience for everyone. And then FTG brought up the fact that the servers need to be good on day one, because there are going to be so many people trying to play this game.
I will say, like, horde mode is really siege mode, same thing, but
Yeah.
it's really good. This update definitely does. Like, it feels like, because like most of the season 4 content, 'cause there's a lot of stuff on the roadmap for season 4 that's not in. That's probably coming in the next patch. This does feel like it's like they were still working on that other stuff, didn't have it finished, so they pushed this out because it was finished. So I do agree that like horde mode needs to be the best, since it's like the only real major bit of content we're getting.
Dude,
Yeah.
the heavy plasma is the best build for this right now.
Iron Halo ready.
Probably. Like I said, I haven't experimented too much. I was planning on doing that tomorrow.
Look at all the other classes get DPS check. Also, they neutered tactical. That broken battle loss spec. Also, the battle loss specs isn't
Yeah.
The battle focus isn't working with bosses at all. I don't know if that was working for you, but when I was playing, I couldn't do anything.
It's really weird. I noticed you can like cancel out the parry animation and it won't scan.
Prepping another bomb.
It's just really janky right now in general.
Spear terminated.
I was surprised. They said they were going to fix the bulwark to not have animation cancel the shield block.
I did not know that, and I really hate that.
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
That is really silly fixing
That's
some
what Stern told me
niche
also.
tech.
He was like,
Heresy quotient reduce.
he knows more about the game's gameplay. Like what's going on in the updates. I haven't read the patch notes really. You know, like they say, like 28% of Americans ultra functions or whatever.
Successfully deployed.
Define
Yeah.
functionally.
As in, like,
What-
they can read,
what do
they
we
just
say?
don't have a good vocab.
Okay.
Yeah, I just skimmed the patch notes. Because I wanted to see if they did any Inferno pistol.
Or that old video game Donkey video where he made he was like, how do I play Riven? He looked up a Riven guide for like 2 seconds, read like 2 paragraphs, like, alright, I'm now a master of Riven, let's go.
Comms tactic ready. No data slate detected.
Someday the Inferno. Someday.
They buffed its
It did.
damage.
It still has the lowest gunstrike damage in the game, but they buffed it.
Oh
God.
boy.
They should put me in charge. I'll fix I'll fix this game.
I think they
do
need
it
to buff the
myself.
Bullseye pistol, dude. The Bullseye pistol is such a cool weapon.
I think I can make this
But it
game
just-
fun for
It just sucks.
casuals. I mean, clearly they're listing me at booster recharge, so I should make
Data slate recovery remains a priority.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna nerf something.
And sell it.
Yeah. I don't know if that was me.
I don't think they would have done it. I feel like it's just like a lot of people, like you and me and others, uploading True Solo, and they're like, yeah, it's a good idea, maybe we should put that in the game.
We pioneered it.
Yeah.
Intercepting
I think
Nice.
that's interesting that for the True Solo they added for operations, like it's it's easier than normal, like absolute. Just like less intensity, because I think it's them kind of like trying to show like, hey, like if you want to kind of embrace this power fantasy, you totally can. Plus, we're kind of moving the goalpost for difficulty over to siege mode. I think that's a really good idea. And because mods are so easy to load up in this game now, if you want a really hard, like, solo operation, you could just enable a modded difficulty.
Yeah, this game's true solo.
You're already solo, so
kind of cooked, dude. It's
yeah,
it's way
just
too
did
easy. It's way too easy on the actual operations. Not in siege mode. I don't know if you've played a true solo operation yet, Sambit, but like they are.
I have. I looked it earlier.
Have you seen how bad the spawns are?
Yes.
They're
I did
terrible.
decap to be fair, but yeah.
I went to termination. The finale of termination had 0 enemies. They gave me 2 boss fights.
That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
But yeah, like, I don't know what they're cooking. I know that there's like a modifier already. Like if your last brother standing, you get like without, unless you manually change it. Just well, so much now. It won't be like slightly less for like a couple of rounds. Might be ever so slightly lower, stuff like that. So it's like a grace feature for those little ones in the game. But this one is worse than that. Basically, last brother standing.
It's crazy. I don't know. I've never liked it when the AI director goes easier on you just because you're the last one standing. Yeah, it makes clutches more satisfying.
It's all about feeding their gamer users.
Something I do
what
really
Darktide does, and like when you're alone, they like spawn more extremists on you or something, or like one kind of pops out randomly in like unexpected situations where they normally wouldn't pop up.
I do think clutches are good for games. I mean, that's what people
It's the same
upload
thing.
half the time. For like all horde games, it's like I'm the last guy standing. Everybody likes being the last guy standing.
Yeah.
That's what
It's the same thing as like having a lot of difficulty. It keeps people coming back.
Clutches are basically the PvE equivalent of like, well, even PvP as well, of like montages, right? Like it's like perfect montage content.
Yeah.
People love that shit. Isaac says they can't simply just add a whole row of perks because of the prestige system. It would be unfair that... Basically, it'd be unfair for people who are leveling up in the prestige system. Isaac, I would just say, just make the
Increase the amount of
entire...
XP.
Yeah, increase the amount of XP you gain, or just make it so that the entire row of new perks that you add just unlocks when you hit level 25 into class. You just get a whole new row of perks. So you have 4 selectable perks in that column.
I do find it funny. They just made new perks this patch. They didn't add new perks, but like they just replaced them. Like, is that really? It's totally doable.
It's definitely doable in that sense as well, because if you just think about it, you know, you kind of look at the perks that are not being used. It's kind of like Darktide, right? I'm sure that Fat Shark has data on what talents are being used and what talents are completely useless that no one's taking.
They care at all.
They hardly fucking care at all. But no, ideally, if your balance team is on top of it, then yeah, you replace the perks that are useless. You know, you round table it, you talk about it, like, hey, in what situation would anybody take this particular perk? And it's like, if you determine there is no situation in the game where someone would take this perk, you know, just replace it. Get a new thing in there. But now the issue is, when it comes to getting free equipment every minute versus, what is it on the tactical, like increased range damage? Yeah,
that's
like
a shorter
what?
that's a guaranteed shorter cooldown than the actual execution perk. Team-wise,
Yeah.
0. There's
Yeah.
also 0 requirement. You don't need to kill anything.
Only thing better than it is snipers. 'Cause it's 30.
Yeah. It's pretty busted, but I mean, even then, I think an argument is better because this team-wide is 0 requirement. You need to shoot anything. It just happens.
I feel like for the increased range damage, like, what would that need to be? Because the extra equipment is so valuable.
Just eat that.
Like, would like a 30% range damage increase for your entire team, would that be worth taking over free equipment every minute?
I mean,
I think the 15 is already really strong. I think it's more so that the equipment perk is a little too strong.
no.
Maybe one equipment charge every 2 minutes.
No.
I think would probably be.
Look at my.
No, don't touch it, don't touch it. Shut the fuck up.
Probably do need it for horde mode now.
Yeah, after what they did,
They had enough of them, but they're-
forcing
they're
me to
60
take out
seconds.
that wet noodle chainsaw, dude, I deserve to succeed fucking like a 60
Sure.
second.
Oh my god. When I did my first like actual like wave 15 clear, I hated the usage of that fencing chainsaw. It is so bad.
I watched that. I was thinking to myself, like, really, this over. Look how far we've fallen. Taking this shit. It's like that one scene in Rogue One. It was like, really, a man of your talents out here, arguing?
Iron Halo online.
That shit was painful.
I did it. I switched between stock and full rifle and plasma because you can kind of take the time to start with stock and just hit like a second hand plasma. Switching between chaos and grenades. And I was trying to do the solo Hellbird without a dreadnought. I'm like, my god, it's just brutal to do it.
Iron Halo ready.
Just don't do enough damage.
Complete countermeasures.
Reziel, you cannot access Siege mode on the PS5 yet. What FTG is playing right now is the public test server, and I don't think Saber does public test servers on consoles, and I don't think they've announced that they'll ever do one on consoles.
Classified. Embassy contained.
It's a money shot. Bang. Close
Probably
enough.
not, because I think the only console they could do is Xbox, because Xbox has like a whole thing for like test servers. Otherwise you have to go through a whole bunch of approval shit for updates.
Now is the time to resupply. Analyzing
Wave
optimal battlefield
14.
resupply.
So I'm just saving all my points until. So usually what I do to save money is on wave 15 for these, I just put some armor things here and I put some armor things over there and some stims. So I can, if I'm running like a pussy from all the Hellbirds, I can just pummel myself, like, you know, train myself back here and just like panic grab them as I'm on death's door. That's generally how it goes.
Makes sense.
Sometimes you misclick and like you don't pick up the stim because you're in such a situation. That's just how it is. I don't think there is any such thing as a clean triple Hellbird in this game. I guess the Dreadnought's right. Well, I guess I'll...
Prepare for direct engagement.
As
Targeting
long as
enemy.
Redknot decides to like actually let you do his job.
I was like, how would people with Dreadnought be for that much money? The answer is yes.
Intercepting
Sorry, did your
resistance.
Dreadnought not perform
Last
properly,
cannons are
Zambit?
down. You need to recharge them.
One time, no, he just like ran away from the boss.
Oh, that's rough. I've never seen it.
I was ignoring them.
Terminator drone spotted.
Send it back in for repairs.
Eliminated.
So this little corner here, this is a great training corner. Lets you get your shots off before I die here. Lets you get your shots off on them pretty easily. And they also like the clump. That's like the one benefit.
Heresy quotient reduced. Heavy infantry termination protocol complete.
Someone in the chat asks if this is only chaos. No, it's not only chaos. You actually fight both factions in siege mode.
What a range damage reduction we have though. Plus conviction.
Dude.
It's like it's just nutty. Hopefully everyone's convinced this is the best build for this, because we're just like landing here and dominating.
Yeah.
Like imagine you have 2 other players. It's just as effective. It's better. It'd be even better with other players. That'll make the tank work. These guys. Now I find Zangors aren't that big of an issue in this because they usually get blown up and everything else when you fire off your 50th missile bomb.
Makes sense.
And they also don't like to attack as much as the eye burst.
Reactivation of las cannons is a priority.
There we go.
Alright, gentlemen, I have got to clock out for the night.
Take it easy, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by. I'm clocking out as soon as we die.
Of course, of course. Thanks for having me. Good night, chat. Good night, Zambit.
Subscribe to Jeff because he's very famous. Fat Shark loves him. They're officially joining content.
Oh boy. Damn, I don't know you.
He's Fat Shark approved.
Pictures.
Are you Fat Shark approved?
Yeah, apparently I am.
Big.
Alright, night, boys.
The las cannons are still offline.
I'm afraid.
Cultist pacified. Heresy.
Yeah.
Warhammer pacified.
Yeah, I
That
find
was a
it
certified plasma moment.
plasma melting bomb moment for sure. I'm kind of curious to see. There's really no reason to ever not take a consecutive execution perk in this. I think Bulwark's pretty low just because for solo play. Like he survives a lot of things, but not having 90-second melta bombs or 60-second melta bombs for 30, pretty bad. This mode. Kind of need him.
Yeah, I did Bulwark for my first run, and I didn't die until 14. I think I went down a few times, but I also did not have any equipment. I was also Hammer Bulwark, and I think Hammer Bulwark is
Pretty bad.
yeah.
I like, it's fine in like operations. It's not very good for this at all.
I've just never liked how slow Hammer was. Like, it's just too committal for this game, it feels like.
It needs to it needs super knockback resist. It needs to be able to hit this. Like the no stagger in this game, it's like no stagger except for this and this.
That's super misleading.
Las cannons remain inoperative. Iron Haven online. Conversion operational.
Take all these guys over.
Las cannons are still offline. High-ranking chaos target eliminated.
So I'm gonna keep one of these Marines alive because these guys are head like to explode for Zinch, and then they'll vanish. So we can't finish the objective. Grab this. I'll put an armor thing here for later.
This will return my armor to optimal condition.
I'll run to the outside last
Yeah.
step first.
Enhanced tactic.
I do hope in the future they let us fight like Hive Tyrant, like the ending bosses from those missions in Siege mode.
That would be
Like
cool.
that would have been
I hope they add a new Chaos boss.
hopefully. Don't have to deal with triple Hellbrute anymore.
Triple Hellbrood's only bullshit because Hellbrood's not a boss that I have, It's the only option they have. Look at this guy. I'll take the damage. Oh, but he can't. That's what I mean when I say like these guys have like a set move.
Reloading ammunition.
Deceptive accuracy. Or deceptively bad accuracy. Oh god. See, this is where chaos sucks. Because if you have no armor, you're running away from them. All you can really do at that point is just take damage. Or dodge. Just get that.
We must restore the las cannons.
Please don't die instantly.
Enemy damage.
Alright, we got it.
Iron Halo online.
Alright, so for this wave,
Pause. Reload before the battle resumes. Resupply increases victory rate.
as long as we spend below 1500, it'll be a benefit. But how much of a benefit?
Increasing ammunition supply.
Let's buy some stims.
Stims. Useful.
Let's use one because we're
Checking
about to fight
stim.
a ton. And then I'll put like... I guess I'll already look over here. And then we're gonna buy
Holding a
the
relic.
range dude. Have you used this guy yet, Zambit? The tactical spawn?
Yes.
He's-
Tactical just goes hard.
He slaps. He makes you fucking slap in this game. Especially with the heavy. Oh,
Obtaining armor.
Just the bots do a lot more in this in general. Like Assault bot was putting in work even.
they definitely do. I think they have a huge damage buff, but they better only last for. I had somebody ask me if it still counts as solo. If you're using like the purchase bots, I mean, I think so. They're just like an upgrade.
targets. Foes marked for
Sure, solo
elimination.
invalidated. Cannot buy AI.
You can't buy the AI that lasts for 5 minutes, guys. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they just had the
resources.
the buff is what we really want from these guys.
Thousand Suns tactical threat counter.
Yeah, 20% range damage on plasma is kind of crazy.
Big bomb.
Sorcerer battle tactics. Counter chaos.
It's from like
Successfully deployed.
500 kg from Helldivers to just like a nuclear bomb.
The Helldivers, man. That's a game
I was
I
playing
wish I
that
got on
before.
making content for. I thought about it. I'm thinking Jujutsu Kaisen content. I'm busy.
Helldivers is like a play with friends game for me. I still love that game and I'm just like I can't.
So that game, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's just so like not interactive, I guess. I don't think it's in the melee system at all. It's just you either position yourself to shoot the enemy or you
I also feel like it just doesn't have very many like interesting builds. Like there's a lot of stuff, but it doesn't like vary your playstyle very much.
That's true. It's deployment spam. Maybe it's better now with weapon customization though. I know Takibo does that shit a bunch.
Some of the weapons are definitely a lot better. Feeling.
Sorcerer's activity suppressed.
It's actually good now. Is that update? I mean, Helldivers
Wait,
really
what?
good.
Yeah, it's good. It's just I don't know if it's a game. I don't know if it's a game I still want to like sink tons and tons of time into. It's kind of a just a party game with friends. I feel like for me.
Scanners detect enemy.
Alright, here comes the fuck you wave. Oh boy, oh, it's coming right in front of me too. Oh, I see. We've gone to the where did we do this? Right. So this is the spot we want to bring it into.
High priority targets remain active.
Ow. I moved my Iron Halo at the worst possible time. But that's the damage we do to them. Pretty good.
Corrupted enemy extinguished.
Now the worst part's getting over here.
efficiency by attacking the strongest foes. Iron Haven, one line. Tactics. To win this battle, neutralize the major threats.
Let me go back to the armor we placed earlier. Fuck out of here.
Prioritize the larger threats.
I didn't even have about the bomb earlier. That's okay though. Oh, I didn't grab my ammo either. I'll do that now. Like the 2 seconds of breathing room we have.
Iron Haven, ready. Purge the priority targets from the combat zone.
This is fun. Alright, well, it's these fucking Terminators, man. These melee Terminators.
Refilling magazines. Operation. Keep your attention on the strongest threats.
Alright, that halberd's about to die, so he wants to come over here real quick. Thank you. Not like this.
Iron Haven, one line.
Thank God for the long execution times.
Enhanced attack focus on high priority targets.
Alright, we'll do it this way. Play heavy can slap these guys the fuck up. I also have other classes that don't do that easily. Kind of Iron Halo. Yeah, corner.
Maximize efficiency by attacking the strongest foes.
Oh yeah, I'm just listening back. Just watching. Yeah, I don't see many other classes doing this. It's
Wow,
just,
he just came in to take the hit.
Intercepting projectiles. Optimal battlefield strategy. Eliminate priority targets. Anti-help. Excellent. The major threat has been wiped out.
Some of our garden really over there and all those simply bots. So we definitely save money doing it that way with the Dreadnought. And then usually I use the Dreadnought on like wave 23, and after wave 23, there's just no hope anyways because the timer is too short.
Terminator patrol spotted. Enhanced tactics ready.
how far do you think a duo could get?
Protocol complete.
Probably.
I feel like a duo could get like way further.
Good question. We'll find out.
1,000 suns deployed.
At least 30.
Eliminate
Yeah,
the
30
threat.
easy. Gotta get
Maybe
50.
40. I don't know. It depends on how bad the timer gets.
It has to cap out at some point.
Reduced.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm hoping nobody. I hope that this was enough to show me that I do this is the best one right now. Maybe there'll be a better one later.
Scar's Bolt 7 pacified.
do you think once block gets fixed for tack will be a bit, like, not better than heavy, but I feel like he'll be a little bit better at doing this. I think that's definitely one of his biggest issues right now.
I think they nerfed it so the Ospectors are both bosses.
Yeah, they could have.
That's true.
But also,
I don't know. That's where a lot of the damage comes from. It's just my issue with him is that his damage comes from being able to get into the melee range for a lot of his enemies, so he can't really get into the melee range. It's like the parry range of things, health and all that. It's pretty great. He's a clean though. Normal plasma.
Corrupted.
I was able to get a lot of damage with that. We were trying to pull carbine. I saw that.
Yeah, Volkhammer's a little weird in this. Just kind of went with like what was like what I know is meta for operations. I say meta, but you can run anything in operations, really.
What was the most broken in operations?
Most broken, most of the weapons.
True.
Other than like ABR, Inferno Pistol, Volkite. It's like the only weapons I can think of that were just like not good.
My thing with tactical is tactical really struggles. We struggle a lot more against chaos. Maybe once the block gets fixed, we struggle with shining tornadoes. But he suffers a lot more from taking damage. That's what that does. Getting caught in soul cannons.
Yeah, Iron Halo is also just kind of huge.
Iron Halo's scales up so high.
Are you running the extra health one?
Yeah, I feared it was necessary for them to
makes
shoot
sense.
Helmers in a corner, in a corridor. I mean,
Obtaining armaments.
I didn't even need our guard
You
drill.
are needed at the fortress's
So these
defensive
will, if we come back to the
fortifications.
spot, they'll still be here. We're gonna be back
And en
here, so
route.
wave goodbye to them. Like it's getting keyers pretty much at 0. This was the first build I used on this. It didn't feel like I was dancing for my life endlessly. Tactical is unplayable with parry. I kind of agree, Druid. Like, fencing tactical feels terrible.
Most fencing weapons feel terrible. It's like power
Hot take,
sword.
hot take. Sometimes I feel
Perfect.
like talking about the block weapon when it comes to tactical is like teaching somebody that loves a crossbow why a gun's good. It's like you just hand a 15th century medieval man a gun. You're like, I swear to God, it's good. It's like, dude, I've killed so many people with this crossbow. Why the fuck would I use a gun? So in this area, I find it's best to just sit down here because you really train them pretty easily.
We will repel the Xenos
Jump up here.
advance. Strategic point marked.
This class seriously struggles to actually go down though. Something else you notice. Never buy ammo. Because I imagine putting it in
Securing
stims
additional
and such
magazines. I have
eventually.
stims.
And just so you guys know, whatever you purchase in the first area here at like the wave 1, it'll stay if you come back here at like wave 16. why is tactical unplayable with parry? Not unplayable. It's just it's not remotely as good as block was. It feels very clunky. Would you agree with that, Zambit? That it feels quite clunky.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of like I don't want to say like wasted actions, but the fact there's so many parries you can do that like you aren't actually doing anything to the enemy in this game. Like the first 2 Ravener hits, you've done nothing but reduced it, but like block the damage. That kind of thing. Oh, you're running me over.
Fencing Chainsword is also just like super slow, so it's really bad with clearing minors. I'm so happy people have like been like, wow, I can't go back now after I've used Artificer and Chainsword.
The Chainsword feels terrible without it. That's the speed.
Yeah. Speed in this game in general is just like... So unironically, I was messing with, it's gonna sound crazy, but like before I took my break from Say Screen, I was messing with the green block power sword.
Oh yeah.
Because it has higher speed and like not
one
much
of those.
damage.
I did do
You
a
did?
that with an extra boss one. That shit was hard, but went down decapitation. But yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I really noticed a whole big difference over like the normal block one. The speed's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the breakpoints are like the same. Maybe like maybe 1 extra hit, but I can't remember. I think I did some testing for it, but I can't remember.
I've heard a lot of people say it's good. Also, seen a lot of people that done solos with it use it. So I'm like, I'll be one of them. Really heavy is one of those classes that once you properly pick your heavy, you have heavy stance and climb the perfect college heritage. It's kind of just a confidence. I've always been a heavy fan though. Okay, now can I reach the glorious execute? All these formers.
Zoanthrope class tyranny.
Heavy also does kind of just have like a better ammo generating perk than TAC for horde mode.
I mean, Dax goes off.
The amount of time.
That's true. I mean,
because his has no cooldown. It's just like
that's
constant.
true.
Wiped out. Iron Halo online. Go explosive. Ready. Specialized bioform neutralized. Our counterattack was successful.
I found Literature a lot easier to deal with once I figured out the backdash in this game. But like this little backdash is honestly better than like normal roll in a lot of cases.
Oh yeah, the backdash is crazy.
Backdash is hard. Backdash bodies everything.
Tactic ready.
Actually, have you tried the increased equipment radius sniper?
No, but it sounds better than whatever trash was there before with the equipment damage.
I'm curious about trying it. I feel like I might kill myself a lot with melta bombs, but I feel like it might be.
There was one melta bomb I got knocked back into earlier today on my heavy run. But it sent me like I got knocked back into by like a Terminator, and it sent me directly into my melta bomb. But we were only barely able to, like, I had to spam the dodge. It just happened to be the melta bomb went off as it left the dodge again. Perfect time. But yeah, you told me the multiple issue good for the option.
So intro, removed from combat.
Yeah, it's insanely hard, but
It is
I have
hard.
done it.
I've done it more on accident than on purpose.
Version Iron Halo ready.
Yeah, I think I've only done it on accident.
Tyranny.
Can I frame lots of bombs with sniper though? So.
These last like wave 15 to like 20 start sending like absurd amounts of experience at you.
Enhanced tactic ready.
Yeah, the scoreboard in Siege mode is hilarious.
Crazy, dude.
Like 200 special kills. It's not even like that far in.
Destroy small arms.
The time needs to go away though.
Hunter destroyed.
Tyranids take longer to kill than Chaos, I found too.
Counter-tactics engaged.
Yeah, Chaos has health. And there's a lot more ranged enemies, so they take 50% more damage from plasma.
Small mines inbound.
By that.
Iron Halo online. Conversion field operational.
But the points you get are stupidly low.
Ravenous High Tyranny obliterated.
Like, you don't get a ton. Like those first 10 waves you fight,
Placing melter
you
bomb.
get the most.
Yeah, it's a really weird
You
choice.
think that like killing triple boss would give you like a big fat bonus.
They don't give you anything for killing bosses. It's insane. Like, doesn't the first boss give you the most
Yep.
on that wave?
I think like the earlier waves give you more points.
Confirmation.
Kind of dumb.
Iron form eliminated.
I've never
It's a little
fucking with
silly.
that.
Resupply before more enemies arrive.
I don't think I've heard of a game that has like a currency, like horde mode type system, and have a currency in it where it's like, we're gonna give you the most at the beginning and then less later.
Saber makes some like very, very odd balancing choices in this game. They always change something I never would have thought they changed. They always like fuck something up. Like every patch, there's some like very core ability is just broken. Sorry guys, in our testing, we just broke the most important thing. I'm going to do it on purpose sometimes. They go try new things. And they fix it later.
Just
like-
perfectly like broke.
I mean,
Parry
they've
scans.
done it so many times in this game where it's like, oh my god, guys. Sorry, guys, we just broke the most core perk to that entire OP overpowered build you guys have all been using. Sorry about that. We'll fix it in like a week. For now, have you seen our new block weapons?
Intercepting projectiles.
The generator that runs the perimeter defenses is failing. Look for replacement power cells.
Scanning for power cells. Tyranid Lictor notes our locus.
Well, the timer goes down by so much. Didn't you have
It
like
does.
17 minutes on wave
Yeah.
16?
And then it gets down to like 7 minutes on like wave
Ready, we
24.
must locate a new power cell for the defensive generator.
Ridiculous.
It's so low.
Way too long.
I feel like even just like most people in like a 3-man group would struggle. Especially with the amount of
You have to bring
stuff
like a
that's
crazy
going on.
damage build. The DPS check is dumb. There's no need for a DPS check in the horde mode. Well, I mean, there is, like, DPS check is fine, but like a time limit is like the worst type of DPS check you possibly have. Now, has anybody ever seen the old, like, Microsoft Paint Onyxia raid with more dots? The
Iron
classic.
Halo ready. Execute Iron Halo tactics.
50 DKP minus. Let me grab this.
Specialized bioforce neutralized.
Evil chosen.
Perimeter defenses require new power cells. Active ready. Long-range turret reported dead. Observe ground movement. Iron Halo online. Tyranid threat. Perimeter defenses must maintain power.
I have actually been able to get all the objectives on this between wave 10 and 20.
Linked attack Tyranid fell. Ravener put down.
Yeah, you like cannot miss those objectives. I remember I had a run where I kept forgetting to do that. your economy is just so terrible if you don't do them.
Sure is. Everyone has a way to make this shit annoying. It's like, it's really not until like the wave, like it looks like you have a short timer, but I found that I was never hurting for time until like wave 22 plus. That's when it started to get a little sus. Oh, thank God that knockback. Oh, like the liquor knockback will knock you out of the Ravener hit. They attack high. You're playing Mortal Kombat. Wow.
Hunter destroyed.
It's like goof. It's like goof.
The defensive generator requires a replacement power cell.
It's funny, I feel like the spore mines are more of a threat to Tyranids now than the RDU.
Yeah. We also have all that range damage reduction though, so they definitely hurt more in the the thing with heavy is that we have such a fat HP pool. And we're allowed to take damage.
Anesthetic bombardment detected. This defensive generator is still at low power. Enhanced tactic ready. Source of tremors still. Wiped out. The defensive generator requires a replacement power cell.
I got locked in. Saw that coming. There's our fat HP pool though. Health is just too valuable in this game to ever not take. They need to buff the, like, Fortitude is just too good on heavy right now. Well, it's not too good, it's just they need to buff other things. Like, they shouldn't have nerfed. Like, the pre-nerf value of, what was it? Strategic Stand, I think it's fine. Fortitude's honestly better. Or at least equivalent.
ready. Perimeter defenses require new power zones. Specialized bioform neutralized. Fresh magazine. We must locate a new power cell for the defensive generator. Iron Halo online. Intercepting projectiles. Aesthetic bombardment detected. Enhanced tactics ready. Perimeter defenses require new power zones.
Alright, we actually have time to do power cells too. Oh wait, I killed them. Killed them all. Never mind.
There will be more foes to vanquish soon. For now, reload.
Monitoring for enemy movement. Stocking ammunition reserves.
Have you tried the Astartes reinforcements? The Vanguard and Heavy ones have helped me a lot through the siege so far. Yeah, the tactical one's the best for Heavy, because it just makes you hit like an absolute truck with a 20% damage increase. The Vanguard's pretty good too. I would say the worst ones, it's like Assaults is very good, Tacticals is good. These two defensive ones, I don't think these are super valuable, because like really the only ones these are going to be good on are classes that kind of struggle with surviving, and those classes already kind of suck in siege mode. And increase the headshot multiplier is pretty bad. So like these three, I think are the only like, really good ones, because damage is way more important than damage reduction. Because the classes that do damage in this game, like Heavy, they already are pretty good at surviving. And they're even better at surviving if they deal more damage, in my opinion.
The enemy appears, brothers.
Because killing the thing that's trying to kill you fast
Foes
is
marked
usually better
for
than
elimination.
having it sit in the field for like 20 minutes. Alright.
Alert! Subterranean combatants.
Oh yeah, so this shit gets crazy.
Melter bomb prepared.
We have reports of command presence on the battlefield. You may be in for
It's gonna be a
challenge.
trouble.
Oh yeah,
Give
that's
18
one thing,
feet.
yeah.
Adapting tactics for priority.
Oh, I should have
targets.
bombed. Yeah, I forgot. There's me trouble. Wave. Forgot which wave it was. What were we doing? I wouldn't have done this.
Swarm mines inbound.
Look how much free damage I'm getting though. Good.
Thermal explosive. Ready. High priority targets remain active.
That still isn't working. That's frustrating. Alright. Oh, you playing. Buy stims right here.
Stims received.
Providing tactical assistance.
Controlling the battle means removing priority enemy. Suppress elite tyranny. Zone for contact. Ready anti-psycho tactics.
Get that armor back.
Xenos countermeasures successful. Iron Halo online. Conversion field operational. Placing setting bombardment detected. Our presence. Tyranny eradicated.
Awesome fun.
Subterranean tyranny annihilated. Stick purge the priority targets from the combat zone. Iron Halo ready. Iron Halo protocol in progress.
Alright, well. We got Combo. I go upstairs.
Engaging elite countermeasures. Focus on high priority targets. High priority turret eliminated. Iron Halo online.
Hello.
Destroy high priority targets remain active. Enhanced tactics ready. Observe well.
Oh, that's such. I should always prioritize the fucking card effect.
Level 0.
Unfortunately.
To win! Neutralize the major!
Oh, disaster. Felt that. Good. Case mark here earlier, if you shoot your plasma at your feet when they're coming out of the ground, it's a bit a little frustrating.
Destroyed spawn markers. Card effects neutralized. Injecting steering. Biofore detected. Engage. Iron Halo online. Administering aid. Conversion field. Prioritize the larger threats.
These electric fucked off, that's very nice.
Iron Halo ready.
Got a chainsaw.
Shield confirmed. Tyranny threat. Next attack Tyranny found. Optimal battlefield strategy. Eliminate priority targets.
A little close. Kill this fucking artifacts.
Maximize efficiency by attacking the strongest foes.
Can we get out the absolute licorice one we're in right now? We'll see.
Tyranny hull.
Priority threat eliminated. Stand firm against the remaining scum.
There's yourself a stim back there.
Bounce back. Ready.
Getting juggled.
Class 2. Use caution. Predatory class Tyranny eliminated. Long range Tyranny reported dead.
Guarding my stim. Get out of here.
Online. Engaging elite countermeasures. Meltamon position. Specialized bioform neutralized.
Well, that was not an optimal start, middle, or end, but you know.
Administered.
I think gotta be a fortitude. Pork absolutely carries.
Obtaining armaments.
I'm just gonna buy.
Relicing enhanced tactic ready. Equipping additional stims. Relic possesses restorative properties. Spore mines inbound. Xenos countermeasures successful. Tyranid bioweapon muted. We are Zoanthrope neutralized. Iron Haven ready.
I got like 5 wars now. There's still 3.
Operation.
I spent a lot.
Revenant beneath our boots. Destroy small mines.
And the audacity to spawn more extremists on me after all that. That's why the timer's dumb. Cause like every time you think the wave's done, it's just more.
Terminated Lictor class combatant. Throw explosive. Ready. Xenos countermeasures successful.
Look at this.
Revenant kill confirmed. Moisetic bombardment detected. Zoanthrope tag. Engage mine shields. Enhanced tactic ready. Source of threat.
2 minutes to kill these guys. Bio wars take forever though.
Zoanthrope removed from combat.
Put that one out. That did that. This other one.
Spore mines inbound. Iron Haven online.
Faster. I knew it.
Conversion.
The next wave might not be that long. You're gonna have to fight 2 bosses.
Reloading ammunition. Our counterattack was successful. Elite level Xenos. Pacify.
You play the aim assist on or off. There is no aim assist. People are a mess.
Switching fresh magazine.
Okay. I could call in the Dreadnought for wave 20.
You have
Then there's no
eliminated
way we're
those
doing wave
attackers.
23.
Order on the way.
Remaining alert.
We got kind of unlucky there with the lift response.
Additional ammunition. Iron Haven ready. Ejecting stim.
Yeah, playing this and hopping onto Absolute is going to feel like a cakewalk. Definitely. I think they buffed the terminus spawns, I believe, but feel free to correct me. They did. They all have 66% more HP. Which I think is a pretty worthy change, considering we're not really struggling to DPS them down. We're just struggling to, like, not get juggled by 15 bazillion guys. Which, that should be the real problem. And a team of 3 can definitely kill people.
The fortress's machine spirit is dormant. Reawaken it.
Prioritizing internal system restoration.
The amount of extremis it starts to send at you, though, at like wave 20 gets a little wild.
Kill confirmed. Major Tyranid threat. Ravener kill confirmed. Enemy disruption must be resolved.
Oh, wait, two there are. Oh, there's 3.
Iron Halo, 1 life. Tyranid Limiter knows our locus.
They have buff absolute inferno on spawn operations to die out. True. Well, they seem to add rewards to the operations, in my opinion. What it really means. I'm like on fucking autopilot at this point. I'm tired.
Destroy spawn.
Shoot gun.
Nicked attack Tyranid back.
After a while, doing this by yourself does become a little bit of a slog.
Fortress system disruption remains in place.
Oh wow. How'd you even get over there? Oh, you're good.
Offsetting bombardment detected.
Sorry, Lichers, y'all look the same.
Melter bomb prepared. Internal system remains offline.
I would have far as 3 super optimal players could get, probably pretty far.
Enhanced tactic ready.
I was trying to think like what the best setup would be. Probably Vanguard, tactical, heavy,
Destroy
or
spawn
sniper.
pipes.
Probably swap out Vanguard for sniper if you really want to.
Reloading. Refilling magazines. Enemy disruption must be resolved.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened to that thing? You see, that just plopped on the ground and died. It had just a hive mind Wi-Fi error.
Obliterated.
It died to the spore mines.
Spawn mines inbound.
Oh, I'll give you something to shoot. Ow. See, if I was a different class, I'd be dead there.
Restoration of internal fortress systems will increase our tactical success.
I'm just glad Spores caught a nerf low key. They definitely deserved it. They were way too strong for what they were.
Specialized biofuels neutralized.
And I'm guessing that in their playtesting for this mode, like half their playtesters just died, or like the people, the dev team, just ate shit against Spore Mines. Like, hey, it's kind of bullshit. Turn that down.
Iron Halo online. Alert system remains disrupted. Predatory class turret eliminated. Destroyed spawn mine.
Dude, the timing isn't too bad here.
Biopool destroyed. Fortress system disruption remains in place. Iron H ready. Kill confirmed. Major Tyranid threat. Source of tremors still. spread system remains disrupted. Tyranny tree. Firewall ahead.
It's unlocked. So this is the worst case place to be with the heavy.
Restoration of
there
internal
we go.
fortress systems will increase our tactical success.
When you run out of armor and you got 2 lictors in front of you, this one's quite dangerous.
Tyranny eradicated.
That's why the restoration perk is so good, because sometimes that 1 armor is all you need to not meet a horrible
Enemy
fate.
disruption must be resolved.
These guys, dude. The stun locks in this move are crazy.
Long-range tyranny reported dead. Internal system remains offline. Online.
Alright.
Enhanced tactic ready. High priority tyranny eliminated. Confirmation.
He's the last one. So I'm just gonna go do the objectives now. The sniper can't do much
Fortress
other
system
than.
disruption remains in place.
Nice assist with the venom cannon. Yeah, occasionally they come in clutch. Sorry I haven't been reading chat that much. There's been a lot of shit on my screen.
Iron Haven online.
I think something that would help a lot is if the enemies die on their own if they were left red
System
long enough.
restored.
Maybe sometimes. Some of the execution animations, I mean, that's really only a solo problem though. It's like there's definitely enough executes for 3 players. Let's do.
Disruption terminated.
This is the one I hate the most though. Takes forever.
Cover my reload.
But the timer's only really bad on like the boss waves. All other times it's okay. But on these it kind of sucks. And on like wave 20 plus, it's just a little like 7 minutes for a chaos wave. It's ridiculous. Like 7 minutes for a triple helper wave that spawns a bajillion Terminators.
Mission success. Your actions restore the system.
Oh, look, we got all those. Alright, we're gonna go buy stims. We're gonna buy. I could buy Valius, the Dreadnought, but where's the fun in that?
Maintaining battlefield
I
surveillance.
wanna die in combat, you know? I wanna clear out wave 20 all by myself. Or, you know, all by myself plus whatever bot I choose to accompany me. Today will be you, the same guy.
Receiving fresh stims.
guess I could leave some stuff up there too. I think I might be able to buy values, so.
That battle will be upon you in moments.
Targeting enemies.
Tactical reinforcement on its way.
Pyramid Lictor knows our locus. Observe ground. Conversion field operational.
Augurs detect a serious threat incoming. Focus and bring it down.
Prioritizing targets.
Alright, if it's just 2 card effects and neuro throw, it's actually a lot easier than simple card effects.
Iron Payload ready. Xenos countermeasures successful. Neutralize Carnifex by any means.
I will neutralize him by any means, but the means will be that just seems to last 4 times, which I will shoot him with a gun. He died from the crossfire. Unfortunate for him.
Subterranean tyranny annihilated. Neurothroat contact. Employ distraction tactics. Optimal battlefield strategy.
That range damage increase.
Eliminate priority targets.
Crazy, ain't it?
Spore mines inbound.
Oh, they can't hit me up here. Oh, that's yes, you can. Oh, this is the edge of the wave. Oh, it's still here.
Elite level Xenos. Passive up. Enhanced tactic ready. Focus on high priority targets.
Let me out of the corner, please. Alright, well that was fun.
Biohazards fading. Obtaining armaments. Technical report amended. Iron payload protocol. Keep your attention on the strongest threats. Iron payload ready.
Well, let's go this way.
Administering aid. Unsetting bombardment detected. Firewall confirmed. Intercepting projectiles. Xenos countermeasures successful. Terminated Lictor class combatant. I have steerways. Relic is high priority target remain active.
Alright.
Spore mine.
Well, we were able to make a big fat purchase.
Stimulus administered. Purge the priority targets from the combat zone. Rather than beneath our boots. Lictor marked our presence. Destroy spore mines.
Alright, that's one down. Man, that stun lock is disgusting, these guys do.
Enhanced tactic ready.
we'll get out of this.
Major threat neutralized. Now we must deal with what remains. Zone for contact. Ready anti-tank tactics. Maximize efficiency by attacking the strongest foes.
Hold button to pick up is ridiculous, sure is.
One threat is no more. Now for the others. Source of tremors, still. Spawn, inbound. Purge the priority targets from the combat zone. High priority killing, eliminated. Setting bombardment. Focus on high priority targets.
Oh, shit on my screen. I got 5 minutes to kill all these guys too.
Operational. Gravity shield confirmed.
See, when it's just like triple lictors, that's not too bad. When it's triple lictors and two flame infectors pounding your ass.
Leaked attack tyranny fell. Maximize efficiency by attacking the strongest foes.
I gotta get up there and shoot his ass. Oh, we're gonna timed out.
Specialized bioform neutralized.
Let me in. Alright. This Biovore shit, dude. Whoever at Saber is responsible for that.
Optimal battlefield strategy. Eliminate priority targets.
You're an asshole.
Biovore life cycle silenced. Iron field online. Protocol in progress. Unit linked to the
Oh, my game crashed. Well. That is that. That's the end of that run. Were we gonna make it? Were we gonna win? Who knows? Probably gonna get past that way if we did have a Guardian Relic. We did just take 30% of our HP and damage, but let me just screen cap that to remember it. Oh, I can't even do that. All right, on that note, I'm going to bed. It is a test server. That's probably going to happen in the main game, though. It's probably going to be even worse than the main game. But that is what I think is the best build for Space Marine 2's Horde mode. I mean, that's the second time I've used it now, and both times I've made it to like wave 20 plus. So I'd say that's pretty good. Anyways, let me put on my little thing. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there, guys. I did have another run I'll probably post, probably like right now actually. That was like it was like a 3-hour run. But anyways, dudes, thanks for everyone who showed up today. Thanks for all the kind words. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great night. Peace.